deployment ribbons, and they ended up just being memes.
That's awesome.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Gonna wear that War on Terrorism badge on all your t-shirts.
Oh yeah, the War on Terrorism badge. So far, I have the Some Source Analyst Participation Award, the Seek Shelter Survivor badge, the We're Not SOTIF, We're Segitif Accomplishment ribbon, the No Results Yet Participation ribbon. The ridiculously happy WTI analyst medal, and there's one where it's talking about our electrical engineer, and I just have a picture of Leo, like Leonardo DiCaprio, with the little glass of champagne, and on either side are gold-plated drones.
Are you still getting the fish facts though?
No, I haven't gotten them recently. I'm actually getting kind of concerned. Like I have to.
Dude, first of all, I tried to register fishfacts at gmail.com and try to make a Imgur account with fishfacts, and I was gonna blow up fishfacts, and it looks like somebody already has all those fishfacts, but isn't doing anything with it.
If I know Hippolito, he probably bought those years ago.
Oh, they're free, so yeah.
Ooh, look everyone, Patrick has a refreshment fridge in his game room.
Oh, hey, you moved into your new place.
Yeah, the main part of the living room is still a mess, but everywhere else is all set up, basically.
Nice, man.
Looking a little small today, Pat.
I will fucking end you. How's that 130 treating you?
Pretty good in the sweat lodge.
I was talking about the weight, not the temperature in there.
Oh, that was probably the temperature.
I actually, this entire move, have not been able to go to the gym because I've just been dead tired.
I was doing great up until like 2 weeks ago. Now I think climb back into a routine.
Yeah, no, freaking I've been getting up at like 7 in the morning just to start moving, and then don't stop till like 8 or 9.
I'm gonna suck it up, and there's a lot of cheap yoga studios, and I know a lot of instructors. You know, once they move back, just do that 2 or 3 times a week.
I was eating really well until someone brought donuts into work today.
And then it's just like, well, I ruined my day. Why don't I just do this?
So you're saying your diet lasted 5 minutes, Kevin?
No, it was going a couple weeks stronger. Hadn't had anything bad.
And I'm sorry, Mark, I accidentally cut you off there, bud.
Yeah,
oh, like I say anything important.
It's okay. The word's about to cut you off.
Just go on and on and on, just giving Anthony more time to set up ways to kill us.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
He's already got one victim. Why does he need more?
Victim implies he didn't deserve it.
That's so catty. Oh my god.
you got me there.
It took me a second to process that. That's great.
Vengeance
oh my
is
god.
nothing but a vagrant.
Telling you, man, this is what you do
Wow.
when you teach high school in a Title I area and the kids are telling you to go fuck yourself. You learn how to be quick back, right? Yeah. And they respect that more than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, I won't be here next week.
What?
What is your excuse? Do you have a doctor's note?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the mountains in upstate New York.
Oh, cool.
That doesn't sound like a doctor.
You guys can be going on your trip.
Not good enough. Try again.
Not good enough.
No, that's awesome, man.
I get to drive 12 hours after work on Friday.
Yay.
Hey. Well, I'm gonna be doing
drive
4.
like what, 4 hours every day?
2 total.
I mean, it totals up after a while, man.
It's only 500 miles a week, 2,000 miles a month.
It's like somebody's counting.
No. I haven't had my car for 3 years, and I'm about to hit 35,000 miles.
I sold mine just
Do you
yesterday.
still have the same car?
No, you bitch! I bought a new one as soon as I left the army.
Oh, right.
I just spent fucking $800 on one of the Thule car carriers on the the roof mounts.
Oh, yeah.
The bitches are fucking expensive.
You should have just waited until, somebody realized that they only used their rooftop camping setup like twice, but they needed to make
around here because I'm in the middle of nowhere.
They really needed to make sure that the Forerunner looked the part.
Everyone just, packs their tractor.
Yeah. I mean, I bet snowmobiling is a huge thing.
We don't get snow.
You don't get snow?
Not that much. There's like
Really?
two snow events a year.
Okay, I'm sorry, who really pays attention to the topography and weather patterns of Ohio?
Okay, Mr. Lehigh Valley
Where's
weather expert.
Yeah, where's Ohio?
Oh, because I live next to Lehigh Valley, I expect you to know areas like where you live by. Which is why it's understandable that you understand.
Okay, so I had my numberings off, but the numbers are still the same in rift jumps. It was originally in 5, now it's 6.
It still doesn't make any sense, Kevin. I'll be honest.
It's like binary, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keeps resets back to 1. It's okay, I know numbers.
That's where we're assuming that this realm of madness makes sense, in terms of its extra-dimensional rifts that are opening as soon as we kill an extra-dimensional creature.
I'm out.
I mean,
He is not the only one mad here.
I mean, I am currently trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Also, every time I see this DS in turn order, Anthony, I can't help but think deep state.
Deep state. Well.
Or dark sentience.
What we're going to need to do is actually start off all of this. It's Seven, you can actually sit on the ledge and stare out into the void all you want. Because things are about to get hectic again.
It's already hectic.
I am gonna start this all off with one of those charisma savey throw thingies.
Boy.
I failed this. Do I get out of the belly?
Is this gonna affect me inside the sphere where nothing can pass through?
Oh my god.
What's gonna happen to my javelin that I'm currently pinned down by?
Are you holding on to it still?
I'm pretty sure I am.
Okay.
I assume I'm at disadvantage for this roll, right?
Disadvantage? Why?
I don't think anything gives you disadvantage for charisma saving. You're only blinded, restrained, and everything else.
Screaming at the top of my lungs in this thing's belly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you... I don't know. Maybe you want to fail.
I did fail. Both rolls.
You definitely failed. Vengeance failed. Let's see. Nimue failed. Cat failed. Nothing, not physical objects, energy, or other spell effects can pass through the barrier, in or out. That's interesting. Physical objects, energy, or other spell effects. It's not really a spell, but energy is an interesting choice of word. Yeah, I guess you're okay. I don't think you gotta make that save. You can stay put if that's what you really want.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So we've got failures from everyone who's rolled so far. I'll
Then
need
Drew
one.
rolled a 18.
In Merlin's?
18's a failure.
Oh God.
Okay.
Seven. I don't know if 7 can physically pass this. It's true. Yeah. Who's at leave? Just Safine.
Yeah. Oh, here it comes.
Safine is the only one who has passed this. Maybe the only one capable of passing it.
Nope.
Nope. All right.
Ooh.
I would think
Let's
I
see.
could pass it.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, I have a nice saving modifier to charisma.
You could just
Alright.
tell us the modifier. You could just tell us the DC, Anthony. You know, it's not. What's a little, DC among friends. You know.
Let's see. Kat is about to go for a ride, as is literally everyone else, which is not the worst thing for vengeance.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, I wonder if I lose control if I'm not there with my zombies and somebody else is.
Technically, I suppose the zombies probably shouldn't. I mean, I'm not going to bother
They're
because they
not- yeah.
can't. They can't, so they're coming with you.
Okay.
But let me just make sure I grab everyone appropriate. Yoink. Yoink.
Slide to the right.
I debated a lot of different ways of handling this, of running this. And ultimately I thought, wouldn't it be fun if they just get to take a tour? Like, what's more fun than that? Whee!
Sit right back in here, tail.
7, you're staring out into an infinite spiraling void of strange, they almost look like massive ethereal amoebas just floating around out there, and then suddenly you're staring into that. Safine, where did your zombies go?
Don't know. I can just always pop you
Oh,
out.
I didn't grab you. That's the problem.
Ew.
Yoink! You find yourself appearing in the coils of that. Vengeance, you are no longer inside of that damn thing.
Thank the Lord.
Kat, you have vanished. And are going to reappear right here. So if you don't see yourself, just scroll wildly across the screen until something is visible.
Oh no, Kevin was right. Maybe. I don't
And
even know what I was doing.
we're gonna pump the music back up. Which one was I playing before?
Oh, the worm gets to go before me.
I'm just glad Cat goes before me.
Probably a good thing. Yeah.
Whatevs.
Stop this music. Stop that. Sometimes my browser gets confused by Roll20 and plays overlapping audio. I have no idea why. But what's important is that it's actually now Merlin's turn. Did Merlin shift too? Did I move Merlin?
He is.
Yeah, he was where Safine was.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I not put a, Oh, that's weird. Where'd your portal go?
It's trapped. All alone.
Should be like right there. There you go. There you go. There's your dimensional
Ooh,
portal.
ooh. I am loving this music.
Isn't this awesome? It's one of my favorite game soundtracks.
Yeah.
All right. Merlin is up. Merlin finds himself all alone in a strange place.
Worst mission ever. I think I'm going to have him cast a good old protection from evil and good on himself with aberrations,
Okay.
and he'll hop through the portal too.
All right. He steps up to the portal and simply, after one horribly disorienting moment, finds himself... Oh, I grabbed the portal, not him. Finds himself right here. In the clutches of a giant, awful monstrosity alongside Safine.
Oh, at least Sophia's here.
There is... Why is there a portal here? Oh, that's the portal. That's why there was no portal on that map, because I accidentally grabbed it. Traveled with Safine. That's fine. Now I can get rid of this one. Alright.
Merlin.
I think that's it for Merlin, right? Because he's spent his action casting.
Yep, that's it.
Right. I mean, he can move if he wants.
I think he's good.
Alright.
Scarlet, I don't think Merlin needs to pick a type for protection from evil and good.
It just works
You
on
don't
everything.
get all of them.
It's like certain classes that it gives you protection against. You don't need to like pick one. I think you get all of them.
Oh. Let's see. Now I want to look it up. Protection from evil
You meant-
and good.
Because it says protected against certain types of creatures and lists them all. Creatures of those types have
Yeah, but then it says like
disadvantage.
creatures of those types have disadvantage on
Yeah.
attack
Yeah.
rolls,
Yeah,
etc.
Oh
so-
yeah, it's all of them. It's all of them.
Ow.
It's just against bad stuff or really good stuff.
All right, Kat, you're still
So,
stark raving mad. You have to attack the nearest thing you see.
right,
But
right. So
you're-
that brings me to my first question. What happened when I shifted over and I was stuck to the ground with my javelin?
You're still stuck to the ground with your javelin. It's just in a completely new place. It's like reality has shifted around you. You haven't actually gone anywhere.
Okay. All right. And the exact wording of the short-term madness was, I think it was attack the nearest creature, right?
Yeah, let me see. Let me double look, check short-term madness is what that was. I think it was, yeah. Must use his or her action each round to attack the nearest creature.
It's you, Seppuku.
I mean,
That's
I
my
don't think
second
I don't
question.
think
Is
it's
it
intended to
actually
work
me?
that way, because then you would always be the closest creature.
Right. Okay. So I think her action, because she can't physically attack anyone, is going to, I guess, like rip the javelin out from the ground.
Sure.
Stand up, and I guess I don't know what. So stark raving mad is in like I'm like frothing at the mouth and like feral. Or
I
I'm
imagine-
Like, or I'm,
I imagine that you're incredibly disoriented. Like, you fell into the endless sea of fractals, right? So you're probably looking around and everything just looks like fractals, like expanding off of every object around you. It's probably makes it very hard to tell what you're looking at. Ryland probably looked like a terrifying monster, which is why you
Okay.
tried to attack him in the first place. So it's mostly like messing with your head. It's like you're, you know, tripping really hard.
Oh, I see. Okay, so she's going to like shakily stand up and like both her javelin and her sword in each hand, and she's just going to like stumble towards this portal, I guess.
Okay.
And she's just gonna fall right in.
All right. I didn't mean to do that. But that's fine. You can stumble in, and great news. You find yourself stumbling out in another horrible place, and Vengeance is sitting on a ledge, staring into what looks like.
No, it's not vengeance, buddy.
It's
Oh.
7.
I'm not sorry, not Vengeance. I meant 7.
Okay.
Force a habit,
7.
sorry.
Yeah, staring into yet another maddening void.
I'm assuming that he also looks like a terrifying fractal monster.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Alright.
for story purposes.
Well, I guess Kat's gonna step forward and 7. You would hear like muttering in broken Zdarl and common.
Oh,
and,
Kat,
like,
good to see you.
Staring past you and like muttering under her breath and like clearly crazed. Brandishing both weapons in hands.
I'm so relieved that you're here.
And that's all she can do on this turn. I can't wait to see what happens next.
All
Action
right.
surge.
Oh no! It doesn't require me.
It doesn't
It's like all
require you.
stuff.
It just says that she
Yeah.
must use her action to attack the nearest creature.
And I use my action, so
Yeah. Let's see. Safine, you're looking into the coils of this terrifying abomination, all slithering purple, slick flesh and giant tentacles coming out of its mouth. Probably another Tuesday for Safine, but it's gonna do its best to do something awful to you. Oh man, this thing can do some awful things.
Oh,
I bet.
I mean, all it did was try to eat Oh man, that's so mean.
Go for it.
Oh, God.
Think about all the times that Safine has screwed over your plan.
Yeah.
Because of,
You know
like,
what?
the healing
This is
The
for
vo-
animate objects.
Exactly.
Okay.
Step on next, Anthony. Step on next.
I need you to give me. This is probably an awful save for you too.
Is this what type of attack is coming at
An
me?
intelligence saving throw as the thing looks down at you and is just writhing around. You see, strangely enough, the tentacles coming out of its mouth are moving as if it was casting a spell.
It's casting a spell?
It's casting. It is requiring no spell. It doesn't technically need components.
Oh, is this the new, like, it's doing the new changes with casting and monster innate abilities and stuff like that?
I don't think so. No, it's just it has psionic casting. It's still casting a spell. Right, because they didn't like. Yeah, it still has innate spell casting. Because even, wait. Yeah. It still has spell casting. It is what it's doing, casting a spell.
I don't think he's done yet.
Yeah, you can try to counter it. Go ahead and give me a roll. If you counter, I'm actually fine if you counter this because this is
Just a plain
awful for
D20.
you.
Right.
The DC equals 10 plus your spell. You do get.
You get jack of all trades, so you get half proficiency on this.
If the creature casting a spell, its spell, blah 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 blah. 10 plus the spell casting, make an ability check. It is an ability check. So do you get jack of all trade on ability checks?
Yep.
It's on every ability check.
Then you get that too.
So it's a D20 plus 2, I believe. Because
Plus your spell casting ability modifier. You still get your charisma on this.
Okay, so where is that? I have a spell save 17.
It's probably +5 for you, right? You're like 20 charisma.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 5 + 2. You get
We'll
7
just roll
+7.
it. See if I even have to worry. No, it's not gonna matter because I don't think
Right,
a
'cause it's
5
10
plus.
plus.
Yeah.
No, you did not pass. Okay. Let's see. You're going to start off by taking some psychic damage.
Okay.
$14 points. Could have been better, could have been worse. And it just fucking saps your mind completely. Your intelligence and charisma scores become 1.
Oh,
What?
feeble. Did you just feeble mind me?
I just
Nice.
feeble-minded you.
Nice.
God.
You can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way. You can, however, identify your friends, follow them, and even protect them.
Okay.
Including your zombies, I guess.
Yeah.
You can repeat your saving throw against the spell
You said I can't
at the
use
end of
objects.
every 30 days.
Dang.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
30 days is a month-long spell unless you get a wish. And I don't even think a what's it called works. Greater restoration.
The spell it does say the spell. Well, we'll let you guys.
We'll worry
deal
about that
with
later.
it.
Okay,
We'll let you guys deal with that later. For now,
did it say use object? That's the only thing I have to clarify.
You cannot activate magic items.
Okay, I'm just trying to plan out my turn.
All right. Yeah, that was what it just did to you.
Fun. Cool.
Ah, God. All right.
Why are
Fortunately,
you upset? Still smarter than vengeance.
Oh my
No.
God. Oh my God. I'm not upset. I mean, I'm nervous for you is what I am.
And I can still recognize friends, unlike Kat.
Yeah, that's true. You're doing better than some members of the party at the moment.
You know, this
Ryland?
is the second time, so.
Yeah, Ryland. he is gonna roll his way through this portal. Let me see how many feet that is. 10. That's 10 feet to the portal, and I'll pass through it.
All right. You pass through it, and you take a trip. I don't think it reveals anything, so I'll just drag you if I can. I have to zoom all the way out to do it. Nope, there we go. Scroll all the way to your left. And there's another portal. And an abyss of swimming ethereal amoeba things. And nothing else.
Cool. Go through this rift too.
Alright, you step through that one another 10 feet and boop. Look, it's Kat and Vengeance.
You see Kat slowly turn her head.
You mean Cat and 7?
That's what. Oh my God! Why am I doing this today? Why am I doing this? Technically, you're right there.
And Riley's just gonna call out to 7, saying, "Don't get near Kat. She's gone crazy." So I just did that in 7 voice. Don't go near Kat. She's gone crazy.
I mean, you know, we've been friends for a while. It's what's changed.
Good luck.
I'm going to
And I'll
kill
go
all
through
you
that
monsters.
And you pop out in a another strange void, and there's yet another rift right next to you.
Let's see, so 10, 20. Max,
He's
you
looking
good?
up. He's looking up his English to Russian translations. I know that sound.
What? What's going on?
You weren't muted, bud.
Yeah, we
I
heard
wasn't?
your Russian.
Yeah, it's getting harder.
You probably
All the
shouldn't.
time.
You probably shouldn't do that on the fob.
Yeah.
And
I
then
will
you
just
know,
go ahead and mute.
one more portal, Anthony. That should take up the rest of my movement.
All right, you use another 5 feet to step through, and you are right here.
Oh, good, good. Okay. I think 20, or 10, 5. I got 5 feet more. I'm gonna take one little step back.
Let's see. Does it have anything with 5 feet of reach? Nope. Okay, you're safe.
So I'm not really taking action. And I like the comfort of this bubble, so I'm actually gonna dash. Oh, I don't actually. And I'll go there for the last 35 feet of my movement.
Gonna keep on dashing. Hope for the best.
I hate to say this now, but you only get half speed in the bubble.
Oh.
Okay, then I'm exactly where I was.
Yeah, you probably
With
just
the
had to dash just to get there.
Fuck, that's
Like
right.
right there.
Half speed with the bubble.
All right. Safine.
Okay, so I was looking at the Feeble Mind spell, and it doesn't say anything about abilities? Like Bardic Inspiration?
You're right, it doesn't.
So, Safine's just gonna go... just like lift a hand and give everybody some temporary hit points and just sit there and drool.
As long as you don't need to understand a language or communicate in an intelligible way, you can still do it.
I don't believe so.
I mean, you can do Bardic Inspiration with just your instrument, can't you?
No, it doesn't even. It just does it.
Yeah.
Like I don't
fine.
have to do anything.
It's the most inspirational grunt ever. Grunted.
Right?
Safine just looks to you with like a very far away, perhaps slightly dreamy look, and you feel inspired.
Who feels inspired?
Everybody around us. Everybody gets 11.
Vengeance, you are who knows where.
I'm assuming I'm like covered in fucking goo or something right now.
Covered in goo, lying on the ground. Actually, you're probably like I don't know, 8 feet in the air, and you just flop down to the ground here, covered in goo.
Fucking portals.
Figured that out now.
What's up?
You figured that out now?
He's gonna look up from the ground, not knowing you were there. I've never been more happy to see your face in the world, Nimue.
Breathe freely here. What the hell were you thinking?
He's gonna get up and basically just go, like, flinging the saliva off his hands and rapiers. Clearly I wasn't!
So does God.
Can I even move after getting up, or doesn't that take, like, a full turn to get the fuck up?
No, it's half of your movement to stand.
Okay. Alright, he's gonna walk over to Nimue, like, still, like, dripping, and just, like... He's just gonna give her a hug, and just be like, I'm alive, though!
You fix this. You're gonna get back in there. And you're gonna...
I gave you a hug, and you, like, angry mom yelled me to go fix it in a portal.
He's like staggering forward, covered in acid burns. She's like, you fix this.
If you stay here before you go, though, if you give me a turn, I can cure you.
As you say go, he just grumbles. He goes, and like, just starts walking towards the portal. He can only get that far. He can't go through it.
Okay.
Got your life still, though.
You do have an action, which you can, you know, that was just movement. You can do whatever you want with your action.
What can I do with my action? I got nothing to do.
You might even have a bonus action. I don't know.
I just take my action, like, flip the goo off me. I don't fucking know.
Okay. Just recovering. Alrighty. Nimue?
Nimue will walk up to Vengeance and give him a little playful punch in the shoulder and cast Cure Wounds.
As I say, that little playful punch just takes my last bit of health.
Right.
Then his dies.
And that's how Vengeance fell.
1d8. What is my spellcasting modifier? Spell attack bonus is a 9.
It's probably your wisdom.
Probably. Oh, yeah, you're right. I wasn't reading.
Yeah.
It is rolling dice. Taking a long time to roll this dice.
Real quick, me and Nimue did not get the +11 because we're not seen by Safine, right?
You're not on the same plane of existence.
Yep.
9 points.
Just think of it that way. If it could affect you on a different plane of existence, then it does. But if anything short of that, it's not gonna get through. All right, Nimue, you heal up Vengeance just a tiny bit.
Just a little.
Thanks.
I'm glad you're alive. And she's going to run off into the portal.
All right, you take a 5-foot step, and I feel so mean. And I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
That's weird.
Man, that's really unfortunate. That one just died in the air.
Ooh.
Okay. That is just enough for you to step. You kind of have to jump up into the portal. It's in the air over open space, and when you come out the other side, you find yourself falling through open space. Fortunately, you have your wits about you just enough to reach out, probably with your astral arms, and grab hold of this ledge here, and not fall into infinite void of spiraling, expanding fractals beneath you.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like.
We're overdosed on psychedelics.
Well, listen. Well, never mind.
I guess she'll try and, like, pull herself up.
Okay, yeah, you can pull yourself up. It's just 10 feet of movement, as if you were climbing up. So you can get up to the side. You can even go through the next portal if you want.
Go ahead and go through the next portal.
All right. Nimue, I think you now hold the record for most traveled, because you have returned to your original plane.
Wow.
Look at that.
I wonder if Nimue too would then start thinking to herself, is it a circle? Since she has 55 feet of movement, I'll go through another one.
All right, you just
Walk
run
over.
through and jump.
Yeah.
Let me see you. Let me see. Go over to the portal. I want to see where you enter it. So that affects where you exit it.
Can I do maybe like between 15, 20, 25? 30, 35, 40, 45.
All right. And you find yourself appearing right next to Kat and Seven.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I guess you see Kat slowly turn her head.
It's got to be incredibly disorienting for Kat. She probably like thinks she keeps seeing flashing glimpses of like she just saw Ryland's face for a second, and then she saw a million copies of Ryland's face spawn off of his face, and a million more Ryland faces spawn off of that, and then suddenly Nimwe's face is there.
Ooh, and
doing
Nimue
the same
probably
thing.
Nimue probably still has all of the stuff activated. So she has arms and tails and all kinds of fun things.
Kat, you just see Kat like, oh, like twitch in place.
There's a quarry half coming out of her.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
hey, Kat, A7. I think she has just enough to be able to go through one more.
She's just
That's
gonna,
like 45 feet. Yeah.
she's gonna step over and see where that takes her.
Well,
Yeah.
does that technically provoke attack of opportunity?
No.
Hey, it says I only have to
Oh,
use an
okay.
action to attack. I didn't. It doesn't
true.
say reaction.
Yeah, if you just step over another 5 feet, where does that take you to? Right here. And you find another portal glowing right behind you.
I think I should be out of movement by now, though.
Okay. Alright, 7.
Just out of curiosity, like when I turn around and look at Kat, can Seven tell there's anything wrong with her, or, I mean, does she just look like angry, like she's been battling, or does she really look like there's no one home?
She probably looks incredibly like confused and maybe even like there's a mask of like fear on her face from just everything she looks at. Is like it's so hard for her to interpret, and that's probably an incredibly rare look on Kat's face.
You've probably never seen her look like that before, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, Seven doesn't assume the worst, so he probably just sighs and says, "Yeah, it's pretty rough," and then he is just gonna hop on Bastion and fly slowly, just surfing over through the portal, following Nimue.
Okay. And we'll pop out right next to Nimue. Once again, Kat is all alone.
That's an incredible reaction. Just like seeing her freaking out. Just like, that's rough, buddy.
It'd be like
See you
that
later.
sometimes.
Yeah, this is just shitty. I don't know. Seven looks at Nimue. I suppose you were making your way towards this portal, so he just cuts you off. I'll keep hopping portals.
All right, you'll hop another one, and find yourself in the middle of a really bad party.
Oh, what the hell is going on here? Okay, so I haven't seen this thing yet. It's like massive.
It is gargantuan. Its writhing coils are just like currently wrapping all around Safine, Merlin, and his zombies. And yeah, it's everything that it looks like in the image. Just blow that up. Everyone's seen it now, right? At least once.
Yeah. Everyone's passed by it now.
Except for Kat. Oh no, Kat saw it in the beginning. Okay, yeah. You guys are like.
Oh
laughing.
yeah, no, that's the one I started with.
Yeah, you started with
and
that.
It's terrifying.
Okay. And it's everything it looks like. And to make it even worse, whatever's happening on this plane seems to be distorting and sending these like chromatic shifts rippling through reality so that everything's just a little blurry. It's like you're looking at it through one of those, 80s TV screen filters.
It's so disorienting. I want to do something productive, but like I'm probably pretty shocked. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's just one creature though, right? Just a massive one.
Just
I guess
massive one, yeah.
wow, that thing is gigantic. Okay. Never mind. Can't do anything useful. All right. I suppose he's just gonna grunt and grab Cupcake and kind of hold it up over his shoulder, and then take a vicious slash at this thing.
Okay. That is a hit. Holy shit! 46 force damage.
What the fuck?
He just like teleports right over its head for a second, and then just like slams the sword down into its neck.
God. Oh, this is steel. Okay, steel wind strike, but there's only one target. Got it. That is insane. You just appear right above it and just chop down into it. You leave a big gash in its neck. But unfortunately, this thing is so gargantuan that you don't even cut through it. It squeals. And it's strange because the squeal is physical but also telepathic, so you hear it inside your brain as well as in your ears.
Okay, and then he, with a flash, he appears to its side, kind of like hovering there right off the ground, still on Bastion. And he lets out a sigh of relief, like he had a lot of pent-up anger in that one.
All right. Oh, God. And then we get to take a ride. Everyone makes another charisma save.
Oh, no!
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't think Safine can pass anymore.
Wow. Ooh. Oh.
You know?
My save says 0 still, even though I have a -5.
It's like it doesn't recognize that it can go that low. I don't. Well, you're still.
I got super excited, Nimue. I got excited there. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you still get your proficiency to your save, so I guess it's canceling out.
Yeah.
But you know what? Technically, the DC is so high that even Nimue's 20 doesn't pass, but I think I like the idea that every character at least has a tiny chance to pass, so I'm going to say that a critical success on the save is going to keep you rooted in place.
Especially
no matter.
since you did 2 of them.
She did one for Merlin, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a natural 20 will keep you where you're at, even if your modifier is not high enough to technically hit the DC.
Merlin wants to stay there, though.
Well, everyone is gonna take. Wow, I can't. Safine got really close, even with, even with it. So, Safine, the zombies, Ryland is protected in his magical orb, so he's gonna stay place. Vengeance is gonna go.
Whoop.
Is there anyone over here? No. Okay. Nimue doesn't go anywhere. And there's no one over there. All right. This is kind of going how I imagined it. You guys are slowly kind of clustering up.
Yeah, we sure are.
All right.
Wait a second.
What?
Where I landed.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're in infinite fractal land, but you're not at risk of falling.
Yeah.
Because you just shift, or it's more like reality is shifting around you. You're not technically going anywhere.
Yeah.
And Merlin is up, and Merlin is here with Ryland.
Going to have Merlin cast Wither and Bloom upcasted at level 3.
You got this, Merlin. Give it all you got.
Exactly. Go.
Upcasted Wither and Bloom. It's a what kind of save?
It's
Con
a
save.
con
All right. That's a 23.
Damn. Merlin probably be like, I gave it all I got.
Doing my best here.
Yep.
Merlin, you're just slightly above vengeance on my list.
Why? So that is still half damage, so go ahead and roll all those d6s. It's 2d6, and how high did he upcast it?
To level 3, so he gets
Okay.
1 extra.
All right, so that's 9, and then it is halved. Okay, that's a little. It's something.
It is something.
Someone can re-roll hit die if they need them. Although I don't think Ryland can be affected by it. So it can re-roll hit die. You want the monster to?
Sure. No. I was trying to think to myself if I wanted Merlin to try and fly back and risk an off attack. Hey, he's got some temporary HP from Sabine. I think I want to make Merlin fly up 30 feet for the long game. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. He goes 30 feet up from the ground, which would put him at 30 to 35, which means he just leaves this horrible thing's reach at the very end of his movement. And it will take. Oh god, it will take an opportunity attack.
You got this, Merlin.
Boy. It is disadvantaged thanks to the protection. You've correctly guessed that it is a celestial fiend, fey, aberration, undead. One of those. It's a 15 to hit him.
That'll miss Merlin.
It does. It misses.
Pretty sure. I'll double check.
Just making
But
sure.
I'm pretty sure he's over 15. Oh, sorry, just kidding. I forget. He's a 14 armor class.
That's really rough. That's really rough. He's gonna take a ton of damage, and then he's gonna need to make a strength saving throw. Oh god. Let's see the damage. 23 bludgeoning and 11 psychic off the bat, and then he needs to make the strength save. Oh, nice. Does it just swallow? It doesn't even grapple? Is that correct? Did I miss something in my translation?
That's what it did to vengeance.
Yeah, no, it just goes straight to swallowed. So those tentacles reach out, they grab hold of Merlin, they smash him around, and they try to wrap around him and retract back into the mouth, but fortunately he's able to flap his wings and slip their grasp up to that height where he is now safe, or at least out of reach. I don't know if he's safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little better.
All right, Kat. It's been a real merry-go-round to see who's gonna end up with you on your turn, but here you are.
So good news. Good news. I have 38 more rounds until my madness is up.
Just 38.
Yeah.
Bad news is that last round was the round that I recovered from the cramp. So now
Oh,
God.
great.
damage again. So I guess Nimue, you would see Kat turn around, her reality shifting around her, and you'd see the Melnikov blade in both hands. I guess she would yell something in Zdarl. I tried to find a good Russian translation. Nothing's good. So she's just gonna swing 3 times. She's swinging wildly.
Oh my god. This is so bad.
17,
Miss.
Oh,
Hit.
Well, no.
And 27.
oh my god, bro!
Are these not, do the two numbers not count as the one attack?
Like rope weapon master, right?
What's that?
He's not disadvantaged.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, this is just the normal roll.
Rip, sorry.
So all 3 attacks land?
Only 2.
Only 2? Okay, that's better. 14 and 12 points of slashing damage.
God.
Bro.
Why'd it have to be you, Cat? Why could it have been Vengeance? He can't hit shit.
Oh,
I'm so
man.
sorry, Scarlet. I am so sorry.
And we would be
Oh.
utterly betrayed. Like, Gotcha, what are you doing? It's
You
me!
hear
There's a monster
Cat
right over there!
Screaming something in snarl.
What did they do to you?
All right. Oh God. Okay. Let's see. Can it do anything to Ryland? Nothing can get physical energy or what else did it say?
Spell effects.
Spell effects. Okay. Yeah, I guess those are spell effects.
It can move the globe. Like it could try to pick it up or push it or something.
Can it interact with the globe?
Yeah, it can.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. All right.
Mouth globe.
An unwilling creature must make a dex. Blah 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 blah.
That part you're looking for is at the bottom, last sentence.
The globe can be picked up and moved by other creatures.
The globe is weightless.
Oh my God, Ryland. The thing begins twitching its tentacles in a menacing fashion, not to strike at you, but you can see that it's tracing out motions of a spell. And oh my God, I make an okay. I need you. This is weird. I guess you're still like inside the globe and trying to manipulate it yourself. So I need you to strength check.
Strength check?
A strength check.
Woof.
Oh no. This is gonna... I'm actually starting to get, like, seriously worried for you guys. Like, really worried. Let's see, it's the ability, and it's, uses... Oh, actually... Well, you stand a chance with this. This is interesting. You stand a chance. No, you don't. Oh, no. Ryland, you're, like, safe in your bubble, but suddenly your entire bubble begins to float into the air. As that
good old telekinesis.
has just cast telekinesis on you. And you watch with horror as it flings you into the void.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Whee!
Now I can tag Kevin into ground control.
Oh
Oh no. The
Is
madness.
any one of us not fucked up?
And now this becomes a Spelljammer campaign.
The madness is spreading. Ryland, you find yourself tumbling, and this isn't an effect coming through to you. This is just your brain trying to comprehend what is happening around it. Just a maddening miasma of shifting colors and lights, as if you were, well, you've heard stories of the astral plane, and you can almost imagine it being something like this, but you see your own body like shifting and disintegrating into light, different shades of light. It's it's like the entire spectrum of light is being exploded around you into rainbows, and you see a blue Ryland and a purple Ryland and a green Ryland all like around you, and it is absolutely driving you bonkers. What did I have Cat roll? Was it a wisdom save?
I believe so.
I think it was a wisdom save. Yeah.
Oh, I remember it's the D100.
So,
Oh, did I not give you a save?
I don't remember.
No, you did. You failed it.
Yeah. That's right. She did fail it.
Wisdom saving throw?
I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Actually, it was an intelligence save.
No, actually,
was it?
No, you had a dex.
Yeah, because I failed a dex save, and then I.
Oh,
and you
it
fell
was
into the void.
intelligence.
Yeah, it was.
I'm looking at the
save,
log. It was dexterity
It was
save
intelligent.
for the jump, intelligence save for that, and then it was
Okay.
D100.
All right, then in that case, Ryland, give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, this
is not great, folks.
No, this is getting bad really fast. Oh no. You roll me a D100 there, buddy. 35.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. Oh my god.
Am I the smartest, wisest person I've ever known?
No, no. The short-term madnesses are not they're not like traits that your character gains. They're like really short-term effects. I need you to roll a D10 as well.
Oh boy.
They're not fun and quirky, basically.
For 7 minutes.
Oh god.
For the next 7 minutes, you're very confused by your journey through the void. You have no idea how you end up back on the ledge here. It feels like you were traveling for eons. And yet, by the end of your turn, you've popped right back here. Your sphere is still active, so that's the good news. The bad news is that you are frightened of the void. You don't want to go back there. And you must use your action and movement each round to flee from the source of your fear for the next 7 minutes. That's really bad.
That doesn't sound so bad. I just gotta run away from edges.
Now I'm looking up, how does one cure short-term madness? That's all the creature does on its turn. And it's Ryland, it's your turn.
Easy, we kill the void. Kill the thing he's afraid of.
Exactly.
How does one cure short-term madness, Anthony?
Fuck if I know. It's one of those optional rules, so it's not mentioned in many spells.
Is that a lesser restoration?
Lesser restoration does remove conditions.
Yeah.
But it's only a handful of them.
Blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Yeah.
Can be. Or one condition affecting it. Yeah. Either one disease or one condition afflicting it.
And then it lists the condition.
Oh, the condition. Okay.
I think. Yeah. I would say it's probably going to take something heftier, like a greater restoration, because that's going to get rid of things like charmed or petrified, and at least it's affecting your brain.
Greater restoration is.
It doesn't matter, Mr. Feeble Mind. You can't cast shit.
Yeah, I know you guys are fucked because both of your casters, both of your healers are now gone fucking crazy or lost their heads. So,
I mean, I should be able to recognize that I'm terrified of something, right?
Yeah, but the problem is the madness says you need to use your movement and your action to flee. Here, I'll post it for you. It's not like you just move away and then cast the thing. It's you gotta move and use your action. So.
Interesting. Of course, that's not a bonus action. What do I have that's a bonus action? Oh, okay. Well, I don't really have any bonus action, so I guess I'm just dashing. And I can only move that 35 feet.
Okay, yeah, because you did move to get in here. Oh, man. Oh, God.
So, like, who's actually still able to fight?
Nimue, Vengeance, and Seven. And, oh yeah.
Except us.
Merlin's inside.
If you
And Merlin.
if you like lure Kat in front of it, she
That's
just has to attack whatever's nearest to it. So
It's true.
I mean, I don't know how I would know that though. That's the problem.
Right.
that's true. That's true.
Safine, it's your turn to do whatever you can with 1 intelligence and charisma.
That's what he can do.
Enter.
Oh.
Just drool off into the.
Oh no.
It's like, you know, you're in college the first time, so
Yeah.
you do something, and 6 hours later, just staring at that lava lamp.
Oh my god. Oh no. Vengeance?
Confused, but understand there's another portal in front of him, and knowing if he doesn't do anything, Nimway's gonna beat his ass anyway.
Come on.
He's gonna run the 10 feet through the portal.
Alright, 10 feet through the portal. Where is it gonna dump you? Zoom way out.
Yep.
Alright, 10 feet. Right here.
And then another 10 feet to this one.
10 feet to that one, and he's just jumping. Zoop, zoop, zoop. It's like, it's just the world shifting around you every few paces. Is that
5 feet through that one, I guess.
5 feet through this one? You appear right next to Nimue and Kat,
Oh,
who seem to be fighting each other.
oh, get out of there!
For the brief second, I go, "Huh, this place looks familiar." What's going on here?
Don't stay.
Vanessa. Maybe we should just run.
I'm actually gonna use my panache on Kat.
No, no.
No, that
And
means
you're going to excuse me?
It's like a charm person.
If you try to attack anyone that isn't me, you're just at disadvantage. Your charm becomes extraordinarily big. As an action, you can make a charisma. Oh, all right. Interesting. Why don't you give me that wisdom insight check?
Who, me or him?
Him. You need to make a persuasion check contested by Kat's insight.
By my insight. Huh.
All right.
Interesting. All right.
Okay.
So basically, Vengeance goes, "Hey, Kat, fuck off," and then steps back.
If you succeed on the check and the creature is hostile to you, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you and can't make opportunity attacks against targets other than you. It lasts for a minute.
And steps back through the portal again. And that's all my movement speed.
Okay.
I want to do the same way.
I'm trying to figure out until you or your target are more than 60 feet apart. I'm trying to figure out if that like, man, should that persist? I'm gonna give it to you because this is like a psychological thing. It's not like a spell effect where it's like, oh, we're on a different plane. It's like you just got in Kat's head real bad. He just said like fuck you, and you just see a million vengeance faces going fuck you. It's like all around you.
Nimue, you see Kat even angrier
Oh,
and
no.
more confused than before. You think that she's probably gonna throw power attacks or great weapon masters, whatever her way.
Oh, we should.
But yeah, then the last 5 feet of movement, I go through the portal.
Yeah, and then you come out right here.
Nope, take it back. Nope, take it back.
There's no portal back. You turn around, there's no portal.
And I can't move anymore. Fuck.
Just so you guys know, this now makes 7 the avatar when we need him the most. He disappeared. Get to the next rift.
Nimue?
Nimwe's gonna back up towards the portal. She's
You
gonna be
back
like,
into the portal and
I don't know what happened to you, Ketchan, but we're gonna help you. She leaves.
and you're back in the coils of this creature.
Run!
I'm gonna try and fuck shit up. We can do it, Benny. We can. Don't worry. Okay. I'm gonna pop.
All right. Eldritch Staff. Ooh, that hits. 8 points of damage.
Cool. Colossus Slayer.
You're finally fighting a Colossus.
Wow.
11 and 6 is 17.
I'm going to. How many spells do I have left? I think only 1. I'm gonna save that just in case. I'm just gonna hit him again.
All right, swing in again.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Very nice. This is a critical hit deck. Critical draw. We are dealing with a bludgeoning damage, right, from the staff?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because it functions as a quarterstaff, right? Bludgeoning damage. Oh, okay. Well, it's not bad. Bonk on the noggin. Maximum damage.
Nice.
So any die that you're rolling is automatically maxed out. Hint, hint. If you have
That includes
anything else to
everything.
throw on this,
So
any
then
die you're rolling.
Just the staff.
Oh,
Staff
that's
is.
unfortunate.
Damn, use some of those spells.
So staff
You
is
can
a
expend up to 3 of its charges to do an extra 1d8 lightning damage.
Yep, we
Ooh.
should definitely do that.
Just all 3.
Well, if they're maxed,
Yeah, they're all
Why not,
maxed.
right? Does it have any sort of, if I use them all, bad things happen? I don't think so.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's one of those.
it's not like my wand.
We're in a dire situation. I'll
Yep.
use them all.
All right. So you're going to burn them. That's another 24 points of lightning damage on top of the whatever the damage from the staff itself is.
The D8.
It's 8 plus what?
32 total.
Plus 5. So that's
No, 37.
32 total. So
No, 37 because I didn't know about the plus 5.
oh yeah. Yes, 37 points of damage.
And would the tentacles kick in and also the Colossus Slayer?
Yeah, if you can tack those on top, then you absolutely should. I don't remember if those are once around things or every attack things. I thought Colossus Slayer was once
I think
around.
Claw is only once around. It looks like the tattoo is all of your melee attacks get an extra 1d6 force damage.
Okay, that's another 6.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Classic vengeance fuck up.
Say, wow, Scarlet, your build is really triggering.
Thank you.
Everything's finally just popping off, and that's a lot of damage. Anything else?
Oh, you know what? I haven't used my bonus action. So I can And a key point to do this.
That's fine. Blows. All right. 2 unarmed strikes as bonus actions. Let's see them. That's a hit for another 7.
And then...
And are you getting the claw on that too?
Yes, the claw would activate. Well, it's a melee. I think it's a melee weapon thing. Let me see.
Which let's see.
No, it says each of your attacks with a weapon or an unarmed strike.
Your melee attacks deal extra. Yeah, so that should work. It's not a melee weapon attack, it's just a melee attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So roll those d6s, or at least the 1, because the 12 does not hit. All right, another 12 points of damage. Nice. Very nice. All right, it's looking kind of beat up now. It's all of those 3 solid hits, 2 from the staff, 1 from the fists. It's starting to ooze this like nasty ichor out of its wounds. It's got 1 big cut on its neck from 7, but it's still writhing around. If anything, only the more furious.
I'm a little scared to get an opportunity attack if I move. So.
All right, just gonna stay put. All right, in that case, 7. You're up, and you know what happens after you. So,
and Safine, when I look over at Safine, they just look like a drooling idiot. Like, is it you just like sitting there with your jaw open or something?
Yeah. Yep. I look pretty much like my zombies.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, 7 on his way over towards the portal is probably calling out to Safine, saying, "Let's go." And then, as he passes. Okay, like so you respond, you turn to go towards the portal?
Yeah, I will shift my body and follow you if that's
okay.
that's the most indication I can give. But I can follow friends, and hopefully, Anthony doesn't make me roll a check to make it the 15 feet to the portal and not get lost.
Well, no, then he takes that to mean that you're just out of it, but you're probably fine.
Okay.
Oh no! What if he falls? Oh no! Oh my god!
I mean, he's not 7's not psychic. He doesn't know.
I know. I'm just. This is. I don't know.
7 steps through this portal, I guess.
Then they're gonna wake up in Barovia tomorrow morning.
This is stressing Anthony out more than it is us.
7
flies through the portal, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you're flying, because when you fly through, you find yourself over a gap, right back where you started this whole thing. But since you're flying, you're at no risk of falling.
Well, I think he's trying to get back to where the big tentacle thing is, so he's gonna hop into this one too.
All right, you take another 5 feet, you drop down, and warp. Everything just changes.
Yeah. I suppose he's feeling very disoriented. All right, he's starting to run out of movement, but he'll charge through this one.
All right, another few feet takes you through to here.
Oh god, he's got 10 feet of movement left. Thanks to the blade song. So yeah, it keeps going.
Another 5 feet takes him here again.
Oh shit. All right, he'll use his last 5 feet to hop through this portal too.
All right, you hop through the portal, and you back up and bump into something behind you as reality changes all over the place, and you're right here. Technically, Merlin is 30 feet over your head.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm sorry.
totally out of movement, but still have an action. So let's see, what can I do?
Oh, look, all the people who can actually hurt this thing.
Yeah, we're all finally here.
The whole gang's here.
Oh.
just in time for the DS.
Yay.
I mean, is there anywhere I can is there anywhere I could place a fireball that would not hit people? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can just shoot it out into the void past this thing and let it catch it on the the back void, the back void on the back on the backspin, so to speak.
All right, that's easy enough because when seven does this, when seven does this, it's you just see a glowing image of brimstone that just gets brighter and brighter and then goes boom. So he doesn't even need to take a baseball pitch.
All right, you shoot it out there. I imagine that it's the most beautiful fireball you've ever seen because it's getting split into an entire spectrum of colors as it goes that way. And then it bursts, and 35 points of fire damage if this thing fails. Dexterity save. It does have resistance to the magic.
Oh, well.
Wow. That's
so
a pass.
it's half twice? Is that what you're saying?
No. It has magic resistance, so it has advantage on the save. That's
oh, okay.
But it is going to be halved to what, 17?
Sounds like it.
All right, but you can tell that the thing seems to have mostly resisted it through just sheer bulk and magical aptitude. Like probably with its psionics, it partially shielded its body so that the flames couldn't reach it. But it does not appear to be a particularly dexterous creature.
All right. Well, I'm out of movement, out of actions, but Seven screams out, what? Why won't you die? And then like you can see him prepare himself because he knows he's about to be fucking warped again.
All right. Speaking of fucking roped, let's see. Charisma saving throws from everyone. Except for Ryland, who's still doing his thing. Fail.
Oh.
Extra fail. 9.
Oh, boy.
All right. Hey, it's not the worst thing, It's not like leaving this creature's presence is terrible for you.
Don't worry, I'll be there though.
Its turn was about to be up, so. Okay. Who needs to take a ride? Everyone. Oh, look, I can just shift everyone to the right except for Ryland.
Good, I guess, though.
I don't know if that's
Just
good.
Get him.
It's literally the a fucking person, a frenzied person, and a sick kid in a bubble.
And a sick kid in a bubble.
Listen, I realize I can do something. My time is now.
Oh, and Merlin. I forgot Merlin.
Just
Merlin
so
is still
guys
flying
wait.
above
I
Sophine.
fucked up last round.
And you look up at the giant eye that's floating there. It looks like an eye. It's watching you. All right.
Merlin got out of there before it was its turn again.
Merlin is up.
Ooh, actually, no.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say shit.
Could technically Could Merlin cast Wither in Bloom, and even though it wouldn't damage anybody, could Vengeance still roll hit die?
I think so, because you still choose a creature. You still choose your targets. You could, I guess, choose no targets. It's not a targeted spell, right? I mean, it's an area, but then you choose creatures in the area is what it is, so...
Right.
So, yeah, I think it still works.
If I could, then yeah.
Each creature of your choice in that area must make a con save. In addition, one creature of your choice. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't see any reason why it still works. Why it doesn't work, I mean. Another hit die for Vengeance. This is it. Both of your healers are out of commission.
Doing what I can.
Scraping by.
Band-aids, people. Band-aids.
Okay, Cat's gonna solve this.
This Cat's gonna solve this. Yeah. So Merlin casts Wither and Bloom. Is he moving or anything?
How much health did I get back?
You roll one of your hit die and add
one
your
of mine.
Yeah. Roll a hit die and add your con modifier to it. Total of 6.
Nice.
Merlin he'll be a hero and he'll run through the portal. He's ready.
He flies down. Let's see. He has to descend
Oh,
about
yeah,
15
that's true.
feet.
Oops.
So, but yeah, that's like 15 feet down and over. It pretty much works out that way. And he's gonna be flying when he appears right here.
Probably be about his movement then.
Okay. Cat.
Okay.
There's one creature close to you.
Before we do anything here, I need to know the panache thing.
Okay.
We talked about how it's more of a mental thing and the distance doesn't really matter. Now that this creature is all around me, can that, I don't know, Anthony, like, does that discount it in any way?
I think all the mind bending should negate it.
I would say the mind bending, but the panache is like, oh, I'm getting your attention. You have to focus on me. And
It's kind of like
he's not there.
Yeah, it's kind of like Timon and Pumbaa and like luau dresses.
Okay. It you know, I want to keep a consistent ruling, but since it didn't really come into play last round, or at least it hasn't come into play since he did it, I'll stick with the words as written. He's not within 60 feet of you. So all of Vengeance's middle fingers that are spawning infinite middle fingers fade from view as you're now surrounded by infinite tentacles.
Cool. Very cool. Then Kat's gonna do the only thing she knows how to do. She's gonna start swinging. Yeah, she's gonna start swinging. And
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's a hit. Is Cat gonna be a hero? Oh my god.
Each one, I'm gonna throw one of these, but because I have 3, so I'm gonna use it on each attack if they each hit. How about 22?
That's a hit.
All right, that's another D8. How about another 22?
Those are all hits.
Oh wait, no, I can only. It's a bonus action to use one, right?
Yeah, you can only get one of those off.
Oh, then that's only one of those. But I'm gonna use action surge, and I'm gonna attack again 3 more times.
Watch her fucking get a nat 1 and fall off the edge.
That's a hit.
How about 17?
17's a hit.
How about 13?
13's not. She's getting tired. She's
All
just
right,
swinging wildly.
Last one, I'm gonna throw a Great Weapon Master on it. Damn, and that's not 1, baby.
Oh my god, I love the narrative. Look at that. They kept descending. She's just swinging wildly and just getting crazier and crazier.
That's
the madness, bro.
until it
Madness.
descends into a natural 1.
Can I roll the damage?
You can roll all of the damage.
All right.
Oh my god, you know what's great? Your weapon becomes lodged in a non-damaging part of the enemy or a nearby object, so that's how it ends. Is you're sort of stuck in the creature.
Wow.
That'd
Holy
be really
shit, the
unfortunate.
narrative!
That'd be really unfortunate if Cat teleports next round.
Let's
Away from her
see.
sword.
Let's see the
that
damage.
was a great weapon master.
That was
just remove the 10 from that, so that was 16.
That was 4 hits, and there was
4
one
hits.
dodge this on there.
So 4 hits plus 4 plus 1. So that's a plus 5 per hit. Yeah. Right? Yeah?
What?
Yeah? Am I crazy?
What do you?
Because
What?
do 4
my magic
damages
bonus.
and then do a d8.
Just click damage 4 times. Yeah.
Oh, alright.
And not the great weapon.
Or
master one.
well, 3 more times, I suppose.
Alright.
Because you got the
one,
16. 14 is
2,
30.
3.
50 plus a d8 for
Plus
your
a
action
D8.
surge, or whatever your superiority die is.
That was a superiority die, yeah. So 16 plus 14 plus 10 plus 10 plus 7.
That's 30, 40, 57. Oh my god.
Beautiful.
No, what?
That is so close.
Don't worry, Anthony.
50,
I got this.
So, well, it's got a turn. It's got a turn before you, Ryland.
I'm pretty
Oh
far
my
away,
god.
and I'm
That-
safe.
Let me see. I don't have any bonus actions, so
Well, you used it already.
I used it already.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's
Okay.
just 1, 2, 3, 4. Your 5th one is getting weak, and your last one it just gets stuck in the creature's. Probably like it catches it in its maw, and it's like
Oh my
all up
God,
in there,
You're gonna
grappling.
He's
with
gonna
it.
eat me, isn't he, Anthony?
God.
This is gonna be a fucking end of fucking Pirates of the Caribbean 2. About to get
He
eaten.
does need to. He was concentrating on telekinesis, so he needs to make a whole bunch of saves to keep that active.
That's four saves.
4 saves. None of them are above 20 damage, so it's just still flat DC 10. Okay.
Oh god.
Yes. Oh, that's a natural 1. So he lost telekinesis.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Well, he can't just fling you into the void to get even crazier. So that's
Sweet.
that's good. Man, there was something I was saving
No.
for when there were a whole bunch of you here together. Unfortunately,
Anthony, no.
you guys keep shifting away before he has the beautiful opportunity.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I think I know what it is.
It's such a waste.
No, I think you should use it.
All right. Yeah. This feels right. I said your sword is stuck in the thing's maw, and it is going to.
Oh, I can't watch.
It's like wrestling with the sword for a second, and then it seems to release it. You finally get your sword free as it opens up its mouth, and you see it's opening its mouth wider and wider, and suddenly it just ejects bile all over you. Burning, stinging, acidic bile. I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god.
This is really what I was running from.
Yeah, it technically extends far enough that it could probably get Ryland too. Like it's just like this. It's like this tidal wave of acid that just goes flying out, but it all like sizzles off of his protective sphere. That's a failure. You're going to take all of the following acid damage.
Oh no. God.
Ooh, juicy.
Oh,
37 points of damage.
That's so much. Oh man.
And it's just gonna do a little yeah, it's just gonna stay put, because why does it need to go anywhere? All of its prey keeps coming to it. Alright, Ryland, you need to use your movement and your action to continue fleeing from the void.
It's
So
okay, because I realized I have a bonus action, Anthony, that I didn't
Okay,
use
I'm
last time.
listening. I'm listening.
Your boy's got a spiritual weapon.
Oh,
With a range of 60 feet, which is within range, because it's at 40 right now or 35, and it is being upcasted like hell.
Show us how valuable Eldath is.
And I will bank that attack roll, because it's being summoned right next to it. Father Morton's cane is bringing the pain.
Yeah.
My god.
Oh my god!
What
is happening?
Yes!
Okay, I just want to check though. Do you need to drop your bubble to do that?
Nope, it's not concentration.
Uh,
Oh yes, I would. I could drop concentration on the bubble.
Yeah.
Because no spells can go out of it. So yes, I would.
Right. No spell effects. Yeah.
I'm running
Okay,
away though, so it's I wouldn't feel in danger at this point.
You better run fast, man.
That's a critical hit.
Oh my god.
Let me roll the damage. And we'll draw a card. Let's see. Woo! It's a life-threatening card.
Oof.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The card is called Get Back. Maximum damage. So we'll just take the maximum result of that die roll. And the target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target is pushed back 15 feet.
It's
That off the
really
edge.
cool.
It's 4D.
Bro.
The
That's
damage should be
creepy.
4d8 because I upcast it at 4th level.
Uh-huh.
So that's max damage of 32.
Maximum damage of 32. Force damage. Ryland, how does Father Morton's cane bring the pain to this creature?
Father Morton's cane, it's cane. I think it's nice and friendly, but this thing, it is just like Ryland, just flying. And it is just like a bolt being shot out of a crossbow running right through this thing, through its midsection. Like,
Nice.
right where the heart, it wouldn't be a heart, but like, right where that, it arcs up like a snake. And it would come back, fly around, and come straight down on the head to the ground.
And the tremendous impact as this thing pierces through the creature and then slams it on the head is enough to send it reeling backwards 15 feet. And as it is hurled back into the void of endless colors, you can see two things. First of all, it's dead before it even gets there. And second of all, as it drifts away, it seems to leave something behind. At the exact point in space where the spear, or the cane, punctured through its body, it has left a ripple. And as it falls away, drifting further and further back and sort of fading as, again, that strange chromatic shift causes it to like spread out. Its image spreads out across an entire spectrum of colors, and it finally disappears. You see something fall out of that rift and land on the ground. You only get a glimpse of it, because you're running away in fear of the void.
I was about to say, immediately after all Cat hears, oh my god! As he flees 70 feet away.
You only get a glimpse over your shoulder as you're running away, but you see something. It almost looks like a stone or something that falls out of that rift and lands on the ground just beside where Cat is.
Oh, well, isn't that convenient?
And that will be the end of this combat.
In 7 minutes past.
Are you sure, Anthony?
Yeah, I think me and Cat are kind of in a cat and mouse game at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Perhaps I should have left it up for you guys.
For another 37 turns.
Oh no, it's yeah.
Well, technically, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna play it out round by round, but
Yeah.
Kat, what's your movement?
30.
And Ryland, what's yours?
35.
Okay. So
But my
you will be
is
able
quickly coming because my only goal is to get away from the void, so I kind of have a dead end.
That is true. That makes things difficult. But
yeah.
what I'd rather do, what I'm more interested in doing at this point, is seeing how you guys solve this in a more theater of the mind, creative format, rather than forcing you to go round by round trying to chase down Kat and tackle her or whatever.
Well, Kat's first thing would be to lob her javelin of lightning at Mr. Ryland.
Okay. Of course. How far does it go?
That's a great question. She'd probably get in range first. She's crazy. She's not stupid.
I'm currently 105 feet away.
105 feet away.
Straight as the crow flies.
As the crow flies.
Are you telling me the deep state's not going to make another charisma check here, Anthony?
Well,
it's 30 slash 120. So I have to get within 30 feet for advantage. Wait, how's that work again? I forget how range works.
30's the minimum.
So you can throw that spear.
Yeah, 30's the minimum and 120 is the max. If I'm...
And you're how far
No,
away?
120 is disadvantaged.
Right, 30 is the normal range, 120 is a disadvantage attack.
I'm 105 away.
So it's a normal.
5.
It's
a normal.
disadvantage.
Oh. It should be a disadvantage.
So if it's beyond 30 but less than 120, it's a
That's in that one.
It's
anyway,
okay.
So it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Tell me that you stick it in the ground again.
I swear it probably is.
The projectile is flung straight upwards. If you if you do not move before your next turn, you must make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, you take the weapon's damage.
Oh no, she really wants that javelin.
She's very confused by the fractal patterns, and what she thinks is straight ahead is actually straight up. And
that doesn't even make sense. I don't know.
She's gonna lawn dart herself.
She'd as soon as she realized that something is wrong, she'd be like chasing after Ryland anyway.
Okay.
So
she
I don't
goes
know
running.
what everyone else. I don't know what. Everyone else thinks.
The rest of you, what are you guys doing? I mean, I don't want to. You can probably jump through the portals and.
I was about to say no one else knows the worm is dead except them.
Yeah, that is true.
Take long enough to like.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're trying to get back to kill this thing.
Oh,
Safine has just decided to sit down.
Oh yeah, we'd run into Safine first and probably try to fix him, wouldn't we?
Well, I'll let you guys decide. Let's say you all hop through, and you're now. Oh, get over here. You're now looking at Safine, who's just sitting on the ground.
Sitting down, like just looking up at you, just a dumb, happy expression.
I mean, again, if Seven doesn't know that the battle's over, he's still trying to get back to where he was so he can fight, right? I mean, he's not going to sit here and talk for a while.
Right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Vengeance is gonna bounce through because Nimue told him to fix this.
All right. How'd you get down there? I'm not gonna make you jump through each thing again. You guys can make your way over and find yourself facing down Kat, who seems to be absolutely livid, and she's attacked Nimue at this point, so you guys know something's wrong with her.
And I assume that like screaming at her is having no effect. She's just attacking anyway.
Yeah.
I can't hear. Can I hear their voices? Like, am I able to understand them?
You can hear, you can understand. You just, I don't know if it's a matter of, you think that these things are dangerous, these hallucinations, or you think that, maybe it's some sort of strange entity that's taking the shape of your friends. But yeah,
I don't know who you are or what you are, but stay away from me.
I'm
going to kill every one of you.
I'm gonna get some distance and yell at fucking Kat. Hey, we have a sparring session, right? And do the panache again.
Let's see who's closer. Because the wording of the madness was, I attack whatever's closest to me, well, not whatever's getting my attention.
Yes.
I mean, Seven's not going to let you attack anyone. He's just going to drop a wall of force around you. So.
Oh, beautiful.
I mean, you can bang on that until we figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. All right. And then wall of force, and she would just be banging against.
I mean, it only lasts for 10 minutes. I don't know how long your madness lasts.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, 7 minutes.
3 minutes and like 30 seconds, I think.
Okay.
All right, so at some point you're gonna calm down. Meanwhile, Ryland is still just banging against the wall.
I'm gonna go after him.
At least he's not in the bubble anymore.
True.
Man, how do you take that off me?
Ryland, as you go to the far end of this like hall, you're gonna see a single great door, which as you approach and throw open, you see nothing but the colorless void on the other side too. There's like some jagged,
it's on both sides.
Jagged. there's like jagged chunks of rock, and you almost start to get the sense that this entire thing was just like ripped away from the ground or whatever it was once a part of. And ultimately, as you're attempting to flee away from the void as far as you can get, the ultimate solution you come to is somewhere right in the middle of the of this places.
Seven is gonna fly over, and as Ryland is running past, he's going to take out the rod of movable force, shove it down his pants, and press the button.
I can rip these pants.
And he can't use an action to press the button back, so I don't know what he's doing.
So he's just
gonna be. It's a dog on a chain.
He's just running endlessly in place.
And it's not helping because I look down the way towards Kat and I see the void, so I turn around, I see through the door, and I see the void, so I'm just going in a circle.
So this is the state of our party. One of us is literally brain dead. The other one is running around like a dog on a chain, and the last one is like banging against a cage. The rest are fine.
Indeed.
And Safine's all drooling somewhere. Yeah, we're
right.
And over time, over the next couple of minutes, those fractal patterns slowly fade from your vision, Kat. And as they fade and fade away, you gain a more normal view of the world. Ryland, a couple minutes after that, your fear of the void dissipates, and you find yourself with an immovable rod shoved down your pants.
I just imagine he slowly stops screaming.
See, Kat just
the sprint goes to like a walk. He's just like staring down.
The yelling goes to
Um, I don't even know. Do we even want to talk about this? This feels like a Vegas situation.
I feel it's,
Vengeance is kind of just like sitting over here on the stairs, just like knowing he's gonna get yelled at.
I guess Seven is gonna ask you both what the hell happened, and I mean, do either of you know what the hell happened? Really?
The monsters
how
are gone.
aware of we of what we did exactly?
I got.
Asking for a friend.
I feel like I would remember being thrown off a cliff.
But would you remember the madness? Because it's madness.
Yeah, I imagine that it's sort of like the things that you saw to drive you to madness are it's like your brain at this point has sort of safely partitioned that away, kind of like scabbed over that, so you don't think about it too hard. And you're maybe not, you might have a hazy awareness of what you did, but it's safer if you don't focus on it too much.
I am not sure what I did to be put in this cage. I am sorry. I remember I saw many monsters. I don't want to think about that. Actually, can I be let out now?
Someone just glares at you.
What? What did I do?
You almost killed us.
You tried to murder everyone.
I did? Did I hurt any of you?
Has some sword wounds.
Oh my god. Oh, Nimue, oh my gosh. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh. I cannot apologize enough. Please. I am so sorry.
I knew it wasn't you.
My
You
bubble
look
got
fine
picked
now.
up.
You did? Yeah, what happened to you, Ryland?
I was running, I shot the void, and then the worm disappeared.
I want to come give Ryland a hug.
Yes, I think I saw something. I don't know what exactly. It fell off the cliff, or that, and something. And she points down towards like the little rift around, like if she can be seen within this cage. Like points down. I think something is there. She points to the ground.
Okay.
Can I be let out of the? Can I be let out of the cage?
I feel like first we're gonna check to make sure you're not just getting us into attack range.
Seven, do you mind taking your rod out of my pants?
Oh, just press the button.
Oh, okay. And he'll press the button, draw it out of his pants, and toss it back over to Seven.
Is there anything where Kat is pointing, or does Seven think she's still fucking insane?
I mean, what's Kat pointing towards?
He's
the little rift.
The little rift.
She said she thought she saw something on the ground or near the rift.
Oh, yeah. There's like looks like a large stone, maybe about the size of like a grapefruit that's just lying there.
I'm going to cast a spell to make sure it's not some sort of magical grenade or some shit.
Grenades.
He'll check it for magic before he picks it up.
Yeah, it's magic.
Is it evocation magic?
There is evocation magic on it, but it's actually a mixture of schools. You're getting some evocation, some necromancy, some enchantment.
Fuck. All right. Well, I guess he's gonna, seeing that Kat seems to have come to her senses, he'll drop the wall of force at least.
And Kat's gonna like slowly walk over to Nimue and like her hands up, like, "Are you? Can I help with that?"
Where is Safine, y'all?
Thank you.
Everyone else is here, but where's Safine?
There's also one other person missing.
Oh, the
You're right.
birds!
Where is the birdman?
I fully expect him to be like next. I can't move his token, but he's gonna be like next to me, babysitting
He's like-
Safine.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
Like-
all this one's all by themselves. Don't know. It's like
Well,
waving.
Seven will relay that we saw Safine crying on the ground on one of the other portal platforms.
I'm worried
Should we
about
go
Safine.
and- Should we go and find them?
I guess we should take this thing. It looks dangerous.
I'll pick it up.
I don't
Okay.
know. Okay.
Yeah, you pick it up.
And I pick it up.
Great, you got it.
It's in my inventory.
Yeah. You want to see a picture of it?
Oh yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea before I pick it up.
God damn it, Kevin.
Oh, we got a vengeance. There's two of them.
I keep forgetting that it automatically puts the name.
Yeah, I want to see what this thing looks like. Oh yeah, I'll pick that up.
Oh wow, that looks not cool.
Yeah,
How
no,
about if I pick that up?
100%. I'll pick it up. No worries.
Yeah, you got it.
Sweet.
All right. Well, I guess our first step is to figure out a way out of this place. So yeah, let's go find Safine and try to figure that out. Can we even? Is this rift one of the rifts that is the same rift from before, or is it a different rift?
It seems like the same sort of thing that you've been hopping through.
7 will try to fly through it.
Okay, you fly through it and you pop out in another dimension.
And before.
And indeed.
Go ahead.
Oh, before what?
No, you're good. You described that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if the others of you go through, you can follow through and eventually find your way to Safine. I was just
Yeah, Ryland would still look at
summarizing.
me like, did Father Morton's cane? Did it finish that thing? I wasn't looking. I just kind of like, turned my hand back and fired that way.
I just saw nothing but shapes. But I did see a very pointy shape push the other very slimy shape over into the abyss. I'm just going to call it the abyss.
That sounds like Father Morton. Okay, I was just curious.
Yes,
Ryland hop through the portal.
Okay.
Come on,
And I
Vincent.
guess- Oh, hold on. I think we should maybe talk to Vincent. Well, you should start the conversation.
Yeah.
And I will be here. I will observe. You know what? Maybe you should be the one to talk to him. You know what? No, actually, fuck it. I want to talk to him.
Let's do it together. Come on, Vinny. Are you okay though? I mean, we did it.
Without picking his head up, he's just gonna be like, I'm still covered in acid. Almost killed half the party. We went into a rift that shot us around like ping pong, or not ping pong in this game, or in this world. Fuck. Shot us around repeatedly. Maybe I should just stay here.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, you don't get to get away with it that easily. Vengeance. Don't worry, we will be reminding you of this.
What? Talk about why did
many times over the course of our partnership.
Why did the music crescendo right as she said, "You're not getting away with it that easily"?
Let me put it this way, Vengeance. You are going to be working off your debt. Well, maybe not to everyone, but at least to, the injured people of our party. And she gestures to her destroyed uniform, like sputtering with acid. And you are going to travel with us for a long time. Now, do not mope. Do not be all. What is it the kids say? Emo? You don't get to do that. You get to be learning, yes? You get to learn from your mistakes and move past them. And also, don't do stupid things without at least saying something. Yes?
Like we said, we're a team, and you are still a part of the team. And even though you will be paying off your debt, you're still a buddy too. And you're stuck with us now, so we're not going to leave you here.
He's gonna just sigh and like stand up and like walk between you. And as he walks between you, he's just gonna put something in Kat's hand as he's walking.
What's this?
It's whatever the fucking random chest of jewels I pulled out of Sorbel's chest of golden coin box.
Wait, what? What did you give me?
A whole, it's like a little chest of like coins and gold and shit that I pulled out of Sobel's fucking chest. And he's just gonna say as he walks by, and just go, well, there's a start.
She is gonna look at it, open it up. Is there anything actually valuable in there?
There's lots of coinage. Lots of
close
coinage.
enough. Let's go.
Some gemstones.
Speaking your language, Kat.
Hey, listen, I never stopped being a mercenary. I'm just being paid much less than I usually am. Speaking of which, I should probably talk to Naz when I have the chance. Come on, Nimue.
Let's do it.
Alright. While they were having that little chat, were Ryland and Seven doing anything? I assumed that they kept going through to reach Safine.
I mean, I guess Seven's probably trying and failing to talk to Safine, and starting to look a little concerned.
Yeah, I'm just looking up at you. You can see recognition in my eyes, but like, you can see recognition in an animal's eyes too. So.
What would Safine's reaction be to just being like violently shook by the shoulders, but like trying to snap you out of it, kind of shake?
I think they would try scrambling back from you, not understanding why they're being shaken with one intelligence. That's like literally like polymorphing into a fly.
What's wrong with them?
I would say probably as like the rest of the party comes through that portal, they would just see Ryland tackling Safine and just like a bright light
and like
emanating from
like
him.
sobbing like
Yeah, Safine's just sobbing, and there's just like a bright light between the two of them.
I mean, I don't know. I'm still detecting magic. So is there any trace of this spell on Safine, or is it like Seven is completely clueless as to what's wrong with them?
It is an instantaneous duration spell. So once it's cast, it's not like lingering on him. It's done what it's done, and then it's done.
Did it do what it was trying to do?
I don't see any magical effects.
Yeah.
Whatever's wrong with them, it's physical.
This fixes everything.
And greater restoration. Let's see. Is Ryland, you swear that this fixes everything. As you tackle Safine with your magic. And Safine, you suddenly come to your senses. Ryland is on top of you.
I'm like snorting in that, ugly cry mucus. Yeah.
Ryland would just like hold one of your nostrils. Be like, it's okay, just blow.
I found one thing that was worse than being a gnome.
What did you say?
I found one thing that was worse than being a gnome.
And what is that?
This.
We don't even know what this was.
You are a gnome?
Ryland's gonna get up very offended.
I mean, why bother learning gnomish? If you're not forced to.
I mean, I guess, never mind. Oh, I'm glad you're back with us.
That was... I could not communicate. I could not think. I could follow people I saw as friends. Ugh. Thank you, Ryland.
Yeah, at least, you weren't scared of the sky.
At least you weren't attacking everyone around you.
Is there another door in this place, Anthony? Is there another door in this place, Anthony?
Sounds like all of you had your own fun.
I won't feel safe until we're long gone from wherever this place is. Has anyone seen a way out?
I saw a door in the last one. Maybe one of the doors in one of these areas opens up to like another portal out of here.
What about that thing you picked up?
Oh, that's just a really nice rock.
Yes, but what about that really nice rock? Like, can we do something with it?
I don't know. It's a rock. I picked it up.
Well, it is a glowy rock, no? Usually glowy rocks mean something, yes?
Is it glowing in my pack, Anthony?
It's got like a faint pinkish purple glow.
Come on, glowing things always mean something, if it's good or bad, yes?
Yeah.
What if we found something that glowed and it didn't do something?
Fine, hold on. Take the rock out and give it, a nice little swirl on top and be like, magic rock, take us home.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's just doing its thing.
What I told you, nothing. It's just a glowing rock.
Zaychik.
If it's got any trace amounts of metal in it, I might be able to figure out what it is.
Who knows?
Right.
You give it a shot.
Does he taste?
No, do not lick it.
Did he taste any metal?
Ryland, it's the weirdest thing when you lick it.
Battery.
Don't tell me it licks me back.
You don't.
No, that's the fiend.
It makes your tongue. It makes your tongue feel tingly, like pop rocks. And it also makes this strange scent sort of rise in your nostrils. It's like a sweet smell, and it makes you lightheaded.
I don't love the heavy metal.
Grabs the rock and smacks Robin on the back of the head.
I'm sorry, what?
Magic items.
Don't taste magic.
Thank you.
He'll try to identify this thing if he can.
Okay.
Zaychik, please don't lick it too.
I love it, man.
You know,
No, you just see him hold it and close his eyes and go into a trance. He doesn't try to, lick it or hump it or anything like that.
Yeah, yes, humping was on the next on the list.
It takes a few minutes, 7, and it's a little more difficult for you because you're hoping it's some sort of like mineral, some metallic mineral that you can more easily read, and it doesn't seem to be that. In fact, you're having a hard time classifying what sort of substance this is. It certainly seems like it should be a mineral. It has this kind of, it's solid, it has this kind of vaguely like crystalline structure, but it does not speak to you the way that that metal does. You do, however, start to get a sense of its I want to say its purpose, and I mean that twofold. I mean that in the sense of A, what you can do with it, and B, what it seems to want to do itself.
I mean, that's not so unusual. Sometimes the metal objects he communes with have like an intent, have like a memory, a purpose. So maybe he's not too freaked out yet.
Yeah, it seems to want to return somewhere. It seems as if it has a longing to seek out a place or a person. You're having a hard time reading the intent exactly, but it doesn't seem to know where to go. And there's also the things that it can do, which I'm going to be straight up. It's a custom magic item, so I might have to tweak it as we go. Its powers might shift and change over time. It's somehow malleable.
Like a jawbreaker. The more you lick it, the deeper the layers go.
What is with you and licking tonight, man? Right. What's going on? You okay? You want to talk about it?
Anthony gave us a space jawbreaker. That's not my fault.
Right.
No one's had that thought until you had that thought.
I mean, I don't know. It looks kind of, could be like cherry flavored. I don't know, or like wild raspberry or whatever.
Wild raspberry. Get out of here.
It's gobstopper.
Oh,
it's got multiple flavors.
7. You sense that this thing is both a sort of, it's capable of both channeling and acting as a repository for magic. It requires attunement, and while attuned to it, it can be used as a spellcasting focus. It grants its wielder the ability to use an action to cast the Eldritch Blast cantrip twice. And when a creature is hit by that attack, it can be used to pull the creature 5 feet closer to the caster.
Ooh.
It also has 10 charges. Each day at dawn, it regains 1d4 plus 1 charges. And when the grace is reduced to 0 charges, roll a d20 on a 1, it loses all of its magical properties. It's one of those deals. But with those charges, you can cast the following spells. DC 15. Enthrall, 2 charges. Cause Fear, 2 charges. Mind Spike, 3 charges. Charm Monster, 6 charges. Mass suggestion, 10 charges.
Holy shit.
This thing's cool.
Well, I've got good news and bad news.
I can't eat it.
That's a second piece of bad news. It wasn't where I was going.
Are you hungry, Ryland?
Fear is a hungering attitude to have. Cat.
I have some rations I can give you. Okay, if I give you those rations, will you be okay?
I mean, I have my own rations, but
When we get back, we need a
I'll
hot
just
meal.
eat it.
But
Go.
Zajic,
Continue.
Zajic, please.
No. Continue, 7.
Need a hot everything.
Good news first. Can't tell what this thing is, but it's got powerful magic in it.
So
Lets you cast some very psychic, powerful spells. The bad news is it doesn't seem to be any sort of key that gets us out of here. So we're still looking for an exit.
Like that rift behind Nimue?
I mean, isn't that the rift we jumped through to get to this platform?
Listen, I'm telling y'all, I'm convinced one of the rifts we need to leave is behind one of the doors at the other end of the hall. And I just pray that it's not more void.
I suppose I should mention this because it's something that would come up with your identify. You do feel that since the rift, at least that last one, was torn, well, all of the rifts, maybe, you're still trying to piece together what exactly you just experienced. Were you fighting different creatures? Were you fighting the same creature in different planes? It's a little fuzzy, but you do sense that there is a kinship, a connection between the rifts and this orb. Perhaps that sense of longing that it has to return somewhere even seems to be pulling it towards one of the rifts, or the rift that's in this area.
Just a second. Maybe it's some sort of mystical compass. He like holds it out and tries to sense like what direction it's pulling towards, if any.
You're having a hard time reading that, but you realize it may be because you need to attune to it.
I think someone's got to attune this thing.
Nose goes.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Cat. Looks like it's your job.
How big is this thing exactly?
It's about the size of like a grapefruit, a little bigger than your fist.
Okay. What do I talk to it?
Well, you have to attune it. Like, you know, don't you have any shit you're tuned to?
I don't know what attune means.
Just sit with it for a while and try to possess it. Feel a connection to it. Equip it in your mind.
Like meditating, right? It's like,
Equip it in your mind.
Like my sword. Yes? I always have my sword. But I feel connected to my sword.
Maybe.
Wait. Would Cat's sword not have been blown away with the monster?
No, it released it.
Oh, okay.
Remember, it spewed the
Yeah.
bile all over.
Stop trying to get rid of my sword, Kevin. Because that sword is never going away.
The sword goes into the void and it comes back.
All right. I assume we're taking a short rest here while Kat attunes this thing.
Yeah.
Kat is going to speak to the orb in Zdaro and say, and just like along the lines of, hello, I'm Kat. I don't know if you have a thing in there, if you want things, but, trying to think of small talk with the rock. I don't really know.
Cat makes small talk with the rock for an hour. You guys
She
can
doesn't know what's happening.
you guys can get a short rest in if you are. So I see you're already rolling the hit die.
I give everybody plus 11 hit points because they can blow them and then do the short rest. Or I think, let me see how long they last.
They're 10 hit points.
Yeah, so they would be lost in the short rest anyway, right?
I think temporary hit points reset on a long rest, right?
Close enough.
Does anyone remember exhaustion? Is that a long rest thing
Long
too?
rest.
That is a long rest. I can tell you that for sure.
So I can't name you Dima because I don't ride you. What can I name you? Maybe Shenok. Yes, I can call you Shenok. Like Vengeance. He's a Shenok.
What does that mean?
Puppy. You know, small dog. Like baby dog. Yes, you have dogs in Underdark? Or in caves?
I understand I understand what it is, Cat. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Young dog. You know, like cute, like puppy. Chinook.
So did we get the 11 temp points still or no?
Yep.
Okay.
Abusing mechanics. And that's why I'm okay by being targeted with feeble mind.
Just real quick, we got 11 hit points there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Of all the characters to be hit by that, like,
Right?
Safine.
That is probably the most damning, yeah.
It's terrible.
Hey, let's strip away what you are at the core.
Why couldn't it be
Yeah.
Vengeance? He already has 0 intelligence.
No,
Fuck
no,
you.
we are being nice to each other.
I thought it was more like 0 wisdom.
Are we being nice to each other, Cat? Because this guy got us in here.
Well,
Well, we
okay,
told him
maybe
not
not
to.
nice, but like
Look,
chastising, yes, but not outwardly mean.
Vinny's been
Look,
through that.
I'm sorry, okay?
Oh, good. I'm glad sorry fixes interdimension travel. Vengeance.
Did you die?
Oh no, vengeance! Don't defend yourself. That is not part of debt. You take the punishment now.
What the hell happened? What the hell happens if we go back and it's been 15 years? What the hell happens if we go back and it's been 100 years?
Well, congrats, it's not a problem anymore.
Well, we might have
Don't kill
a
him,
few
Ryan.
things that we have to do.
Hell, what if Fey Queen's taken over? Ah, fuck. What's that region that you're from, Kat? What's that little country
What?
called? What's your little country called? All right, I just forgot.
My region.
Not specifically your region, but like the continent that you're fighting for. That little country. The
Wouldn't
undead
that be a-
nation.
Phantom Empire?
Oh,
Yeah,
the
what if
Xantham Empire?
what if we get back and the Fey Queen's taking over the Xantham Empire?
And I guess we helped throw a revolution, don't we?
Because
I mean, would
they're
that
already
really be a bad thing?
a little bit. It's taking more freedoms away from people. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys saw
hold
the
on.
map. I don't know if you guys saw the maps before we left. But they're already planning to push down into the Xantam Empire.
And
Well,
how about we stop yelling, calm down, and worry about getting out of here. And then we can heap blame upon vengeance.
Look, I've already offered to stay here if that'll make y'all feel better. Actually, hey, Riley, why don't you just punch you in the face? Will that make you feel better? Come on.
No, because you're really easy to hit.
No.
I mean, honestly, I did
You
backhand
already
you, and then
look
you
like
did the exact
shit.
same thing. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, all right. Ryland
Okay,
just
you're
sounds
one to
like
talk,
a funny thing
Scarface.
today.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right.
I
All
still
right.
look
Getting
better
rid of
than
that
you
hair.
right now.
I've
Just
never
as,
seen you like this
just
before.
as your hands
Separate
do
them,
doesn't mean you
please.
are.
Anyway. How are we getting out of here?
During this short rest, Seven wanted to leaf through the Melnikov documents that he took from the file cabinet thing,
Okay.
and just kind of get a. He's not really reading them in detail now. He's just trying to get a sense for what's in them.
Sure.
Andy was planning you to hold on to that for a couple more sessions.
Yeah. No. Well, I'll tell you a few things. There.
I mean, for now, just like what kinds of documents there would be sufficient.
Right. They seem to be a few things really. There's it's sort of subdivided into files with notes about different members of the Melnikov family, including one for Ekaterina, and all of her other family members who you met while you were at Visegrad. And it seems to extend back to her grandfather. The notes are sort of observational in nature. And you see lots of kind of, you get the sense, this is all like without an investigation check, this is just from like a quick read through. You get the sense from the notes that the mortal hand has been keeping an eye on the Melnikov family, especially since the days of oh my god, blanking on your grandfather's name.
Radovan.
On Radovan's since Radovan's demise, it seems as if the mortal hand has been keeping tabs on her family, Visegrad, and there is a sort of, in regards to Radovan himself, a sort of disappointingly slim section on him that lists some of his sort of missions and accomplishments in the mortal hand, and certain sort of promises made to the family for as compensation for his efforts. You get the feeling that if you sat down and really poured through and sort of tried to infer things from the notes, you might be able to find things that are written between the lines, but that's just sort of what you see at a glance.
All right, cool. It's good enough for now.
I love how Kat has no idea that he has though.
Yeah.
You know, he would share them to you, but you're busy talking to your new rock, so.
Shanok, yes.
Oh,
God.
Yeah, and you know, Kat, you feel pretty ridiculous talking to this rock, perhaps at first. But over time, as you're sitting there, you almost get the strange sense that the rock is not talking back,
Oh my God,
per se, but
sword and a talking
almost
rock.
almost listening in a sense, almost as if it can actually hear you.
This is a little unusual. Zechik, and when I feel like I have a bit of a connection, does that mean I am attuned?
He gives you a thumbs up.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Shannock, what can you do? And she stands up and like walks, like paces back and forth with it.
Mm-hmm.
Did Seven tell her like what this thing can do?
I mean, he didn't list out the spells. He just said it's got access to powerful psychic magics, and maybe it's some sort of compass or something.
Compass. She's gonna hold it up in like one hand, and then just kind of have her other hand like out like this, and she's just gonna like, come on, do your thing. Do I need to do something? I'm not very good with this spell casting.
Kat, as you sort of concentrate on it, and will it to do its thing, you feel a slight pull on your hand as if it was pivoting you around. And if you let it guide you, you find yourself pointing right towards that rip in space.
Oh, what is this? And you see Kat just like with her rock, and she's just following her arm, and she's just walking. Come on.
That way? That you?
Maybe. And is the rock like pointing, like pulling her like this way, like towards the void?
It is, and you also notice something as you draw nearer to the void. The entire time, it's been this chaotic, shifting mess of colors and shapes and viewpoints. And now that you've taken a little trip through the planes in this temple, you kind of sense like, oh, what you're seeing is you're seeing into each of those different places. But as you draw nearer, the rate at which it's rapidly flashing between them is slowing down. And finally, as you stand right beside it, it stops flashing different images. And instead of looking into different versions of this grand hall, you realize you're looking into the darkened, faintly pink, dusty, circular room through which you first entered into this place.
Hey, Shannock found us a way out. That's a good Shannock. Thank you.
Did you name it Shayna?
Shannock.
Is now.
It is a puppy.
Jaina,
It's
did I
not a
picture?
dog.
Don't shut up. Just walk through the portal.
You first.
Oh, okay,
Or,
fine.
Maybe Vengeance first. He likes to go
Oh.
through portals without knowing what's on the other end.
Oh, man, this is going to be a recurring thing, isn't it? I will let you figure this out.
And look, Vengeance not even paying attention to us.
What's up? Sorry, I was getting food for my roll.
My glowing rock led me to the portal, and I have just changed the portal so it looks like where we came from. And then I'm just like, I'll go first, and then Ryland was like, oh no, Vengeance should go first. He likes going through portals.
Vengeance is just gonna walk through and flick Ryland off as he steps through.
A perfect impersonation of Ryland.
Well, I think I've known him for a few years now.
Vengeance steps through the portal and is gone.
Can we see him in that room now?
Okay, now 7 cast teleport.
You know, I could do that if you want.
We should give him a big inspirational speech. How like, he's still part of the team. We rib him on the way out. We're like, we're right behind you, buddy.
Bye.
I feel the love.
Yeah, there's a momentary flash. It's not like he just like steps through and steps into the other room. There's like a pause and then a sort of flickering of Vengeance's image, and then he's there on the other side.
If I turn around on the other side, can I like still see them through it, or is mine fucking up?
No. When you look through it, it seems to be showing you a stable view of this realm as well. And as although you have no way of knowing this, when you wave, there's like a 2-second delay.
Yeah, I'll wave back.
It looks okay.
I don't think Shayna would steer us wrong, okay?
Actually, can I I wanna say this just because it's I wanna have fun with the physics for a second. He doesn't flicker in when he appears on the other side. You actually see Vengeance coming out of the portal before he's fully in it. And then when he finishes stepping through, yeah, he's on the other side.
Oh. That's weird.
You're seeing the time it takes light to travel the distance between the two planes.
Brian's gonna push Kat in.
No.
Brian's pushing Kat in.
No. I'm pretty sure
I can make the zombies go through first.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she can resist that.
Resist it, then, bitch.
What do I have to roll again? This is a contested strength check.
Yeah, just for our own. Oh,
okay. And that's
I'm gonna trip in.
Take Ryland by the belt, and she's gonna throw him in like bar style, like throwing him like you're throwing a sailor out of a bar, you know.
No check required.
Suka trying to kick me in the portal.
Yeah.
I'll put the zombies through.
Yeah, and you all marvel at this strange deflection of space-time as Ryland starts to appear through the other side of the portal before he's fully out of this this plane, and so on and so forth. The zombies stepping through. For a moment, it looks like there's like two zombies overlapping slightly, then they get through just fine. And yeah, you can all go through one after another. Who's the last one through?
I guess Kat will be the last.
All right.
Because she'll be holding like the rock out as she brings it through.
Kat, you take one last look around this place as you're about to step through, and you have a shuddering moment when you swear you still see something moving out there in the abyss behind the fractals, or perhaps it's the source of them, but feel like something is lurking out there.
She'll step inside the portal very quickly now.
Okay. You step through, but even as you return to your own home plane, you somehow have the sense that you have been seen.
Anthony, you have this remarkable talent for unsettling me in just the right way. And it's been the same way since Curse of Strahd. I swear to God. It's like the first time when fucking Denier found like Adler's head in like
Yeah.
and I'm just like, wait, what? Excuse me? So that's super cool. I'm wanted by extra dimensional entities. Can I try like holding Shane like the rock out and just like waving my hand, being like, and close. And close.
It doesn't close.
Oh.
But it does go back to being a chaotic mess of images as you step through.
Ah. Now, Mayo, very good. Yes. Now, what else can you do?
Do we have any way of sealing this space? This seems inherently unsafe.
Nimue here. I feel like Nimue is missing. There we go.
Kat continues waving her arms while whispering to the rock. Come on, you can do it. Close. Just close. Yes, just like entering a home. Just close the door.
You gotta get it.
The rock doesn't seem to have any interest in the portal, and you feel like you can even feel like a slight tug as it seems to be wanting you to look, well, up towards the wall.
What?
The wall.
What?
Yeah, it's like pointing you towards this wall that you're up against.
Oh. And she turns around and looks at she like points to the wall. This wall?
Look at this wall.
I think it's more of a direction than a map, Kat.
Oh, this wall. And she knocks on the wall.
Do you know how a compass works?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I guess it wants to go north. Well, it's very weird. We had the extra dimensional place, and then had a hole, and then another hole, and then we went between holes. It was a whole thing. I made pun. That's fun.
What's the whole thing?
So, what do we do now?
We should probably go back out there and see how much time has passed, because we don't know if time passes, you know, with the same there that it does here. Maybe the Fey Queen's fallen. For all
That
we
is
know.
a good idea. You know what you should do, Ryland? You should take the cabinet and you should kick it down. Really show this timeline who's boss.
I don't need to kick it down. I can just slide to the slide like I did
And
when I moved
You
it back
can't,
in the way.
because I broke it,
And
remember?
maybe the
I can
railing
still-
inside
that-
with
that's just-
crossbows
it's not-
drawn.
You know, it's not sitting flush to the wall. That's what you broke, Kat. I moved it back in the way before we left.
No,
Vengeance
I think
is-
I broke it.
You
Vengeance
did
is
break
trying
it.
to look
It
through
just
the
doesn't-
hole.
It doesn't sit flush anymore to the wall. I moved it back in front of the hole though, so it's sitting like fucking crooked.
And maybe they're on the other side of the wall with crossbows, like in that famous play, Argynvostholt.
Yeah.
I love that
Argynvostholt.
play.
Vengeance is attempting to look through the crack left in the cabinet.
Yeah, you can look through a crack in the cabinet, and are you just kind of like shifting the cabinet aside so you can peer through, or are you trying to be careful about it?
I'm trying to be very careful about it, so like, I know there's already like it's not sitting flush, so is there like a little hole anywhere I can look through, or like very easily like creep it forward?
There's like a little gap. Why don't you give me a stealth check as you like approach the secret door and try to peer through quietly. Pretty good. You can see that on the other side of the room here. It looks like it's been cleared. You don't see like the desk and chairs that were right in front of this doorway still there. They've been like they're gone. And you catch sight of 4 of those heavily armored guards positioned in the room, not too far from the door. And they seem to be kind of like straightening up and pulling their gear together as if they've heard you, they know you're there, but they don't seem to have noticed that you specifically are like peering through the gap.
I'm gonna. So seeing that, I'm gonna turn around and like with hand gestures, basically say like 4 armored knights that over there, like.
I get the 4. I point to my zombies and point out the door and show like number 1 and shrug.
Realizing he's very terrible at charades, Vengeance is just gonna whisper as quietly as possible. 4 armored knights waiting.
Let me go. I can talk to him.
Why are we whispering? Is this not
just crawl.
something we are supposed to be doing?
Crawl right.
Let the zombies walk out first.
No, that's a terrible idea.
All right. If you want to try talking, Ryland, we both can go talk. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll just go talk to him. Listen. I'm a great talker. I'm fantastic. And, just before I go out there, I'm just gonna, just in case, hit myself with the guys before I crawl out.
I'm gonna go out with him.
Are you gonna crawl out? Why don't you just move the cabinet?
Well,
We're just gonna move the cabinet door.
It's like a confined space, so you gotta it's ducked and or crawling, and then you gotta move the cabinet out and then go through the hole.
So I can just kick the cabinet over?
Let me just move it. It's okay. I'll just move it.
I can kick the cabinet over, yes?
I'll just move it to the side. Anthony, I'm moving the cabinet to the side.
I help him move it.
You just start shifting the cabinet to the side. It kind of makes a screeching sound as it no longer slides nicely on its track. And as you do that, you would have thought I would have made a little thingy-mabobber. I guess I can kind of do that. I can just move it like this. And you can see the guards tensing up as Ryland opens the passageway, drawing weapons and shouting in Zdaril. Of course, Kat, you recognize what they're saying is basically something along the lines of exclaiming, "Something's coming out!" And then yelling out to Ryland, "Stay put! Stay! Stay where you are!"
The HE double hockey sticks are y'all hiding in this area? Did you guys realize y'all got a whole interdimensional portal back here?
Kat attempts to translate for Ryland.
They switch to common when they realize that it's Ryland and
company.
And company. You can see that well, you can't see because they're all wearing helmets. And yeah, they're basically at the ready with with battle axes and shields held up. But they're kind of holding their ground, and they're just continuing to yell at you to stay put, not to move, not to do anything.
Whoa! First off, the Fake Queen gave me more authority than y'all. Two, obviously, you guys have not taken care of Cassia in all of her circumstances because you guys didn't even know about this rift back here. So why don't you guys calm down and figure out what the hell you don't know?
I think they did, Ryland. That's what they're saying. Something was coming out.
Of the hole. No, I said the port. Shut up. Translate.
Around this point, the door will open, and
How'd they get in with the stone shape up?
what an excellent question. Casper Pavlovna will come through.
Does she look any older?
She looks decidedly less regal. She's in a nightgown. She doesn't have her full regalia on. And as she approaches you, well, she stays well behind the armored figures. But she's kind of talking to them and calling out, what's going on? What do you mean they've come out? They survived? And then she looks and she sees you there, and she says, "You are back."
Yeah, no thanks to this idiot. He's gonna point at vengeance. This dude just was like, huh, if I'm gonna die in this lifetime, might as well die in this hole. And hopped in the portal, and so someone else had to hop in, and we all went in, and we almost died, and we...
Hi, Casper.
Do you guys
We're here
have
too.
beds? We're tired.
What were you doing in there? How did you...
Fighting?
Fighting?
You ever seen a worm the size of this area? Because that's what we just killed.
When we have flying tentacle monsters and
Flying
other
eyeballs.
psychic beings that...
How long were you fighting for?
I don't know. How long have we been gone?
few moments.
Maybe 5
No, we've
minutes?
been gone. But we've taken
few
time to
hours?
rest. Let's round up and say 2 hours. Maximum.
You disappeared 4 days ago.
That's not bad.
Oh, I thought it would have been like 15 years or something.
You've become legends now.
Okay.
Oh no.
Ryan's gonna give vengeance a death stare.
Then it's gonna back.
Dinner with the in-laws.
What do you want?
Go ahead, Mark.
I just said about the rift. I said, if you want to skip dinner with the in-laws, you might as well step on in.
What? Okay. Casper, yes, we investigated this. Maybe not by choice, but it doesn't matter. We investigated the portal, the rift, in which we think might have been used by your wayward mortal hand, and we discovered a creature on the other side, and it was quite disturbing.
You spoke with the creature.
Oh, yes.
So it's not a very good conversation.
But you said that you fought it.
Yes, it offered something that... It offered a deal. The deal was to help it bring about the birth of a great cosmic being, or stay there. So we chose neither, and yes, we killed it, or at least killed a version of it, or maybe multiple of it. It doesn't matter, but we rejected its deal.
You were able to slay this thing. Then perhaps you have done some good. You have to... Go ahead.
Did we have that terrified thing in a cage the whole time with us?
No.
The animal?
No, it didn't come through with you.
Okay.
I don't think.
What happened to the Mr. Fluffy Man?
If you, yeah, you mentioned that, she says, oh, you mean the little experiment that, Petra has been trying to keep right under my nose?
Not me. I think that was what Safine was talking about. I'm talking about the scribe, Mr. Maison Beats. Lemon Beats? No. Kazon Beats.
Mr. Niemandsbist,
Nuzzlewazzles.
Yes, Niemandsbist. Yes.
I suppose he came with you because you were carrying his cage the whole time.
I like to imagine. He's still snarling because he actually got the same madness that I did.
I kept my eyes shut the entire time.
Oh, okay, that's good. Never mind.
Casper Pavlovna will say, and you are sure that you have not... You truly resisted this thing. You are not simply lying to me. I suppose you could always be doing so.
Do you see the massive amount of acid that's eating away my clothes? I did not get that by shaking hands and kissing babies. And even if they did, that would be very unfortunate babies.
Look, can we get some like food and a bed, and we can talk about this more after we all get some rest?
Oh yes, and he was eaten.
Yeah.
Yes, he was eaten by the thing.
Can I try to persuade her to just like let us calm down for a minute?
You can give me a persuasion roll.
Don't worry, Vengeance. I can give you advantage because I've been talking to her too.
She considers for a moment, and she leans over, whispers something to one of the armored figures next to her, and she said, "Perhaps you are right. It is clear you have been through some sort of ordeal, and I could always stand to finish my beauty sleep. We will make arrangements for you to sleep in our bunks. We will have food brought to you. Perhaps it would be best for you to convalesce from your ordeal there."
That sounds reasonable to me. Guys, what do you think?
I can agree to that.
Let's get some rest.
You need to seal this area.
It's dangerous.
Why was it so accessible?
Accessible?
What, do you think a sliding bookshelf is going to stop anyone who's really determined?
Yes, did you know about this? You talked about it like you knew it was here, and
Of course they knew about it. They're covering it up.
That's why they're impressed about we fought. Because they knew what we fought.
I determined that until we were able to
figure out how to properly close this opening, then the best measures were to give it as little attention as possible.
When did this portal open?
Oh no, that's how things are crawling out of them.
Did Kostya open this portal, or did it open by itself?
She looks a little almost uncomfortable for a moment, and she says, "Perhaps now would be best for you to rest. We can talk more after."
Just know this. Before we became Inquisitors, we were portal closers.
An interesting statement.
And peacemakers and robot friends, and it was a whole thing.
Nation makers.
Don't know what any of that has to do with this, but
Colossus Slayers.
That's right.
I just killed
Dragon
a few
Charmers.
people, the fuck?
Dragon charms.
sounds
I think we definitely blew up a fort. I blew up a fort with help.
Storm
titles.
travelers.
Titles and accolades, yes. You can heap them upon yourself all you want, but you have stepped out of that thing alive, all of you, and strangely enough, you seem to have your wits about you. That is evidence enough for me. Take your sleep while you can get it, and we shall talk more on the morrow. And she'll kind of lead the way out of here, and sort of give you, suggest, well, I guess all those guards there will kind of carefully guide you in the direction of the bunk room that you saw before. You can see some sleepy-looking clergy folk kind of still stepping out of it. They've clearly been told to vacate, and they look a little perturbed, but it doesn't matter because what the Casper wants, the Casper gets, and she wants a room cleared for you. And if you guys make your way in, Seven, are you checking the records again, or are you just following?
Oh no, I'm just lagging behind.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if you all head into that room, you'll notice that a couple of the guards kind of step in and take up positions on either side of the door, which they close behind you with a rather definitive sounding thunk. A little while later, there will be some food that's offered to you. Nothing elaborate, but hearty and filling. And yeah, and you're basically given the time to rest.
Are they standing in the room?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the city called that we're in? This
Wait,
round?
did you say yes or no?
Yes, they are in the room.
Just kinda
And
wanted
you
to see.
are in Velinastad.
I think Sophie said he casted the pillow party before he walked away.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, it's right here. So if we're on the pillow party, they can't hear us talk, right?
I think we've had much debate about this. I don't know if the pillow party explicitly blocks sound.
You can obscure sight with
Yeah.
it, but not. I don't think it says anything about sound.
Gotcha. So the first thing, Ben's gonna ask Ryland, what was that look about?
Ryland is explicitly ignoring this. Hold on, I'm typing something out to make sure I got everything right.
Ryland, I'm sorry, Kat just sets the rock down in front of her and kind of cross-legged stares at it for a little bit.
I'll wait for him to be done typing before I yell at him.
What the fuck did you post, Mark? Sorry, distracted.
He posts random shit, you know that.
Yeah. Were you asking something of me?
Yeah, no, I was yelling at Ryland.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. I'm doing this. We're in the Pillow Fortress, right, Anthony?
Yeah.
The Pillow Fortress.
Pillow Party. Sorry.
I like the Pillow Fortress, though.
The Pillow Fortress.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like Safine, as you're like concentrating on that and casting it, you can see that there's a moment where one of the guards is like moving as if to stop you, and then the other guard probably calls out something in the startle, and they step aside. They let you finish casting the spell, and yeah, you're in the pillow party.
Okay. I'm going, crisscross applesauce Indian style. Doing sending. And I want to reach out to that dwarf that was a prisoner. It was a dwarf, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In the torture chamber?
Yeah. I just sent it to you on Discord what I am sending. Sorry to dig through tabs here.
Let's see. Boy. Okay. I'll work on a response to that. In the meantime, if anyone else has anything else they want to handle, they can do so. If not, then you guys can fully recover and gain the benefits of a long rest, as guards do not interrupt you, and you're safely inside the pillow party. But if you want to converse, you can.
Ryland.
No, short term, I'm in the middle of this sending spell waiting, so you're not gonna hear a single fucking thing from me.
I mean, he's not gonna.
Maybe it would be best if we leave Ryland alone a little bit. He doesn't seem like he's in the best of moods. Yes.
I'm trying to figure out why I got a death glare earlier, right?
I think if you pick up on context clues, I know it can be a little difficult, but maybe he's annoyed at the whole situation of being dragged into a interdimensional rift and then having to fight a big horror monster and then immediately have to deal with it.
He ran away the whole time. He's fine.
See, Vengeance, is that how you act with somebody you are indebted to? That is what I thought.
We're gonna use that term very loosely. It's not a chain, right?
Oh, imagine you are on my leash now, puppy.
No, I will not.
Shannock. Man, let me tell you, I am a very I will give you plenty of rope on your leash. Yes, just enough for you to hang yourself. Are we
I
clear?
am not a fucking puppy, and I am not on your fucking leash.
You could be a puppet and be on strings.
Ooh, both of you together. Cute eyes. Pretty scary.
I agreed I will pay off a debt. It does not mean I'm on a fucking leash. There's a difference.
Right, just try not to drag your debtors into, or those you owe your debt to, into the shit show.
You are literally carrying around a shit show behind you right now. He says in front of the zombies.
Oh, insults now? Oh
I
my.
I can control a dozen at a time.
That doesn't make it less of a shit show.
I'm just saying I need to fill ranks.
Hey, so what else should we talk about? Let's talk about something, anything else. Please. Zaychik, what are you doing?
Pondering.
Pondering what, may I ask?
What the hell did we find there?
That is a great question, actually.
The creature claimed that those planes were from the future. But everything I know says to me that can't be true.
Could it? I mean, it could be possible though, right, Misaki? Because what if they're like removed from time?
I don't know. I feel like I've got to ask the DM. Can I make some ability check here? I mean, I don't even. I'm obviously as a D&D player, I have to assume it's possible. Right. But would Seven actually think it's possible? Like, has he ever heard anything about a portal that take you to a different time?
You give me an Arcana check.
Safina would just interject and say quickly.
I think since we haven't long rested yet, I still have disadvantage, so I'll roll again.
Let's take a look. Yeah, you're a little drowsy. You know, when that magic of yours wore off, it sapped something out of you, and it's still leaving you a bit fuzzy on things. But I mean, you've heard of powerful magic that can momentarily pause time. But even the time stop spell is some of the most potent magic that any wizard could hope to master, and even that only halts the progress of time just for them and just for a moment. There's even some academic debate about whether it's actually stopping time or just causing you to speed up. So it's and that is, you know, some of the most powerful magic that the greatest casters can learn. So something that has the ability to throw you into the future is, you know, anything could be possible, but it's certainly not within the realms of what's been studied in academic arcana.
All I can say for sure is that no mortal magic, short of a wish, could create a connection to a different point in time. A whole different plane, somewhere else in the timeline. Which leads me to believe the creatures we encountered were lying. But why? What were they after? What did we just fight?
Maybe they were just playing a game of chess and we were their pawns. Or trying to be their pawns.
We know that they've infected others with their madness. Coerced them to try to bring about what they call this birth that will end everything.
Then
And we know that happened.
like my empire, we treat our dead. We keep our living hanging back because who wants to endanger ourselves, and we send forth our minions. Perhaps these are thinking the same. They're not strong enough to go out on their own, and they offer boons to people, like we've seen, and they are the agents in the field.
I can think of only two motivations. One, survival. They somehow do this to exist, to feed. Or two, they're in service to something that compels them to act in this way.
Kind of feel
Beyond that, I've got only questions.
Maybe it is to procreate, to keep themselves going. Maybe they are trying to birth something by creating all this destruction. They are progressing themselves and getting better.
evolving.
Yes, like that.
Or maybe they do ovipositing and you incubate their offspring until it bursts forth.
In the chaos and destruction?
Who knows?
I can only think of one entity that might have the answers we seek. And I can't imagine why she'd have any sort of candor about this.
Who are you thinking?
Vaguely.
She just
Thought you were thinking of some other sort of.
The woman herself.
They do claim to be helping her along her inevitable path.
It's the only thing that could be.
Yeah, but last time we spoke to Kostya, she said that, or what was possessing Kostya said she does not know of their plan, so maybe it's just something they're trying to do.
Whatever their connection to the Fey Queen is, they appear to be adversarial. Certainly assassinating faces isn't something that she herself would commission.
But to them, that might be what speeds up their plan, so who knows?
You know, I have been thinking on that. What if, as Inquisitors, we could, and she kind of lowers her voice to make sure the guards can't hear, requisition a face, you know, so we have a direct connection to the Fey Queen, and we can protect her. So at least there is always one outside traveling with them. Yes?
I don't imagine there's forms for that. Who would we even have to ask?
I suppose we would ask her. And we won't be able to ask her until she takes control of the face. So she will have to take control of the face in order to ask, and then so on and so forth.
There is one other option. If we want to try to connect with the Fey Queen.
Yes. I'm reading note.
I'm writing what note says.
Yes, Zichik.
I had a vision of a location. Somehow Sobol, the faces, connected through some ceremony involving the Fey Queen, where he received the brooch that Vengeance found.
Oh.
I think Ryland may have also heard of a location where the faces go for indoctrination. This might be the same place. It might be the place most connected to whatever physical presence the Fey Queen actually has here.
The academy. The one that she mentioned, that the face mentioned, yes?
But I can't imagine she'd be happy to have us visit. Surely there are secrets there she doesn't want to be discovered.
Well, whatever we are going to do, I imagine we will have to do it fast. And maybe time it right on our exit from Villenestad. No matter where we are going to need to go... I don't know. What is our next step after this?
I feel like we would learn a lot if there was some way that we could see the faces.
But like Seven says, it wouldn't be the best idea to just go right to where her direct physical connection is, but it would be a wealth of information.
There is another place we can check out still in this city when I went out exploring, but obviously we're not in the best place to talk about where that is.
There is one last possibility I can think of. In the research lab they have in this facility, we found research notes. Apparently, the magical presence of the Fey Queen not only infests everything in this realm, but it can be concentrated, extracted. If we dared to be so bold, it could theoretically be possible to extract all of it, condense it, make her appear by extracting her magic.
I feel like that would take years.
Are you saying that the Fey Queen is not only literally physically everywhere?
Yes.
The stone under your feet, the air you breathe, elements of her magic are present in all of it. And they've developed processes here that allow them to extract it.
That sounds incredibly profane.
If that's the case, you guys are all also carrying something on you that she can probably use to listen and see everything we do.
Oh, of course, we've always assumed that.
We've known that for a while, but whether for entertainment or some other method we can't divine, she doesn't seem to mind us investigating, pursuing these lines. Until she tries to put a stop to it, we have to assume she approves in one way or another.
I think she likes our cancer.
That's a fair assumption, yes.
We're not yes men. And whether she gave it us disposition on a whim, like some people have assumed, or not, I think we should use it to our fullest extent and get to the bottom of it. But
Yes.
how would we condense? Because I myself have no ability to do such high level magic.
I requested and was granted access to take these research notes with us. I don't claim we could pull this off by ourselves, but maybe between us, we have the resources to figure out a plan. Something like a ritual, unlike any that has ever been performed in Yon. Something that spans the entire continent. It's bold, but not impossible.
That is quite the undertaking you are proposing. But if it helps, I mean, what? I don't even know where to start.
Well, I don't think we're getting anywhere here right now. Maybe we should start by actually getting some rest.
The Athenium might be able to find out more, but this is a long shot. That research could take a while.
I guess theoretically, you could imagine us using the research to make a small spell be a region-wide spell. Maybe if we did the same thing in a line, I don't know. Maybe figure
So,
something out.
what if we think about all the people we've helped? You know, the one village, the Warforged, and things like that, and finding casters across them. We've come across many different paths already that could have a crisscross across some of these nations and work towards this. Because I don't know if on what type of time scale are we talking about? How do you get more people to do this intercontinental spell, especially if we don't have interaction with them already?
I've heard of a mystical technique called crowdsourcing. I'll admit I don't give this plan high hopes, but if we have no other avenues, perhaps.
Oh, good. I thought we were just going to kidnap a face and then just kind of roll with it from there. Honestly. But obviously that's not probably the best idea. So,
I think everyone's done talking. All right.
Final Fantasy III sleepy time music. I can see Seven saying, "You spoony bard." But that was Final Fantasy 2 or 4, depending which country you were in.
All right.
Yes.
Oh god, what is going on?
Yeah, I'm not in on this joke.
What?
If you guys have already gone to sleep, Ryland's still meditating. Doing his little thing that he's doing.
I mean, I don't imagine we're all sleeping at the same time. So...
Oh, I mean, he did cast sending spells, so maybe it's just between him and the DM.
So, well,
right.
Vengeance volunteers for first shift of staying awake.
He's,
can I get a change of clothes, please?
No. It's not the end of it, Anthony. I got one more.
I was wondering
Jesus
how many you had left
Christ.
in the tank.
Hold on.
Let's see.
While Ryland is cold calling people.
Yeah, you guys can get your rest in. And you can keep watches if you want, but the guards on duty don't interfere. They don't seem to be tremendously concerned with what you're doing, as long as you're not like doing anything crazy. Like they looked a little concerned when Safine started casting, but when they sort of realized what was going on, it was less of a concern. But
what the fuck?
Yeah, I can't see anything either.
I just see your zombies moving around.
Well, I can highlight and move them around, but I can't see myself.
Did you just like moved yourself?
Did I?
Wait,
I moved my zombies.
Where did you go?
I don't know.
I just watched you like walk towards a wall and then under a token, and now you're gone.
I put myself out there.
There you go.
No, I was gonna put the zombies up against the door because then if anybody else tried to walk in. And then
I don't know if this is if this is a something you're not prepared for, Anthony. That's okay. Let me know. But Seven wants to. He's been looking for a chance to do this, and he would wait until Kat is asleep, and then reach out and touch her sword, and cast Metal Memory, which is basically legend lore.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get some information about her grandfather and what happened, what event led to him being put inside this blade. What's going on there?
Oh boy.
Here we go. Okay. Sending some your way, Andy.
Oh my god. Just hitting me with everything at once. I know what to tell you, but I don't know precisely how I want to deliver it to you in that regard at the moment, Nick. So
right.
I will.
I mean, we can leave it on hold for next week if you feel like you'll have time. I feel like there's some connection between him and the Fey Queen, something we don't know. And I mean, he's Seven is also interested in what he can do for Kat. I mean, part of this is a personal thing.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be learned there. I'd have to think about exactly how I want to present it. I don't want to do it in a way that gives away too much or too little. So I will. I'll think about that.
That's why I'm casting the spell, Anthony.
to get everything, to get all the secrets while you're sitting
the
here.
only point of this spell is for an info dump. Like that's the whole point of it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's cool. We'll just say I end up falling asleep mid casting and I dream about it. Figure it out when I wake up.
Sure. We'll come back to it. But yeah, I don't want to just info dump you. I want to present it in a way that's narratively intriguing. So, and meanwhile, I got this other guy over here who's just hitting me with these freaking messages.
Listen, blame the time skip, Anthony. Actually, blame Vengeance because he caused this time skip.
Sir, it was not my fault.
I'm sorry, what? Say that one more time.
This is out of character.
Yeah, say that one more. Say that one more time. A little louder for the guys in the back.
I said it's out of character. Yeah, it wasn't my fault.
Oh, it wasn't your fault. One more time.
Someone kicked me through the portal.
Didn't quite catch that. What I'm hearing is it's all my fault, and I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Did someone say I said YOLO? You only live once and jump inside the portal? I'm sorry.
No, he was told the high chance of death, and he said okay and stepped through.
How did you go from apologetic to not apologetic at all?
Max,
it's been like 5 minutes.
Max, to put this in
it's been
perspective,
5 minutes.
The difference in what I receive in this message is the difference between me going to sleep and me filling a sock with soap and beating the shit out of Vengeance.
To clarify, bud, I'm saying it's all out of character as a joke. because I'm waiting to see if Ryland's gonna try to fight my character while he's on watch duty.
What?
Don't trust the guard.
Oh, I
sleep.
think if
I got 4 hours, bitch. I meditate.
Well, I mean, you can't really sneak up on me anyway.
hey Pat, I love you. I love you being part of this group. You just have to know that you don't fight us one-on-one. It's gonna be bad. It's just gonna be bad.
I'm not the one trying to fight one. Ryan said he's gonna jump
But
me.
I'm saying, like, that's also the bad part. If we wake up on something that I even know somebody else instigated, I'm just gonna immediately assume.
And I will deal with that as that comes. But if he attacks me, it will happen.
Okay. I also just want you to know it's nothing against the player.
Attack you. I'm gonna banish you, bitch.
Or chaos.
And then I'm gonna banish you again. Then I'm gonna banish you again.
And I believe Vengeance and Kat still need to have a sparring session.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, you had to make this stressful for me. Just kidding, you didn't have to. Vengeance did!
I've said sorry enough.
No, you haven't.
Take it or leave it.
You haven't.
So, Merlin, you are a bird. So, like, do you eat regular food? What kind of food do you like? Are you a pelican?
Okay. Great. Oh, all sorts of things, you know, nuts and seeds, fruit, fish, big on fish.
Oh, I also like fish.
Fish is great. Fish is great. Actually, wait, am I a vegan? Am I a vegetarian or something in my lore? I forget.
That's a good
2.
question. All right. Let's go through all of our dietary habits while we're at it. Starting with 7.
Starting with 7.
I feel like I might not eat animals. I don't know why.
Oh,
I could see you eating fish, though.
Fish don't count.
Yeah.
Do you like
We eat fish all the
swallow
time.
the whole fish? Do you chew?
Well, I suppose it depends on how large the fish is.
If ever we go to the Empire.
Oh, I love eel. Have you had eel?
I love eel. Eel's great.
They do this
How do you
raw
eat
eel
eel?
there. It's amazing.
Our best
thing.
dishes are eel.
Yeah.
Is everything you eat there raw?
Well, no.
They like to do a lot of spicy things.
Yeah, but is it like cooked or is it like raw but seasoning thrown on it?
Oh yeah, they cook it. We make some
I mean, a
super
little
fancy
from
cooked
A,
dishes.
a little from B.
They do love. We love our raw fish.
Do love raw fish.
It's good.
That sounds unsanitary.
Hey, doesn't that
It's
make you
healthy
sick?
for you.
Is it?
It's actually really good for you.
Lots of great omega-3s.
Sometimes they'll wrap it up in rice.
I enjoy talking. I enjoy talking to you. You guys are great.
We'll have to go there next just to get away from this awful landlocked country.
Oh, that would be fun, man.
Well, listen, you know, we do have lakes, you know, and like rivers and okay. I guess ocean is good too.
Go back to the islands, though.
Yeah.
It'd be warmer.
Ah, it was great there.
I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Okay. I really don't do well on the sea. I get very seasick.
Merlin starts snoring. let you imagine what his snores sound like.
Ryland is still meditating. There's no difference between what he was doing earlier and now. To clear that up for vengeance.
He doesn't know that.
Seven's still reading, or still doing the lore and everything. What were you doing again?
Yeah, after he fell asleep, he's trying to cast a spell on your sword to read its memory, to find out about how your grandfather and the sword and the Fey Queen are connected.
Oh shit! All right, no, that's pretty intense. I guess everybody's just going to sleep, and Kat's just like sitting on the bed with her little rock. He's like, I guess it's just you and me now, huh? I guess it is just you and me now, huh?
You still feel like it wants you to go north.
Yes, I know you want to go north.
To the worlds? Mm-hmm.
Worlds? I've never seen the worlds before. Thank you. Nimue, are you whispering at me? You're like across the room. I don't know how I heard you. It's nuts.
I spoke to you in your mind again.
Oh my god. I have to stop vocalizing.
She's actually legit whispering.
Kat's just so tired. She's like delirious, doesn't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
Just talking to her rock.
Let's see. Kat, are you going, Ryland? Are you like sleeping, meditating?
So my stance from doing the sending and from like actual meditation is almost identical.
Right.
So unless anyone was paying super close attention to like any energy I may be giving off, they wouldn't. I would assume they wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Right. I
would be holding that position.
Sending does have verbal, somatic, and material components. I don't want to.
Okay,
don't want to be a party pooper, but it is visually obvious when
you've been burning the incense, man. Like not like we didn't notice.
Yeah, maybe it's just part of your normal meditation. You know, you occasionally do some gestures. You burn your incense.
A short piece of copper wire, thank you.
You wave your short piece of copper wire.
So,
like, I don't remember.
At one point, the copper wire would just go to a rest in his hand, and it wouldn't be like waved or like used specifically. That would be obvious in a spell.
Sure.
I think it's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like people would be able to notice that you're casting a spell like sending.
Yeah. I mean, probably. I'm not speaking out loud, but like maybe the signs of me casting a spell and actually like doing something with the copper wire would be obvious.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about components of spells. Is they are supposed to be things that are like visually or auditorily apparent. That's why getting like things that let you secretly cast spells is so essential, because normally when you cast a spell, most people are like, oh, that's how you cast a spell. They might not know what spell you're casting, but they recognize like he's doing a thing to make magic happen.
Yeah, I would assume probably like the sending spell probably gives off like a brief like flash of light.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like a little text notification.
No. There's a little vibration on the copper wire. Okay. But you are meditating at some point along the way.
Yeah. At some point, like after like the sending spells and maybe like whatever I'm doing with the copper wire, like maybe twisting it in a different way from like the first time I did it. it would just kind of like come to a rest, and I would not twist it again. It would just kind of like sit there in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Sure. All right. While you are resting, can I have you and Kat give me wisdom saving throws?
Oh God. Me and Kat make wisdom thing. Okay.
Yes, please.
Wait, what?
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Ryland, you feel your meditation momentarily disturbed by memories of the void. But you are able to sort of put them aside. You've practiced your meditations many, many times for many years, and you know how to put aside memories and the day's distractions to focus and recenter yourself. Kat, you are struggling a little bit more with it. It was more intense for you, more directly confrontational, and when you close your eyes and begin to drift off to sleep, you feel yourself spiraling, endlessly spiraling, and you see these infinite versions of yourself lying in bed. It's disturbing, and yeah, you sleep fitfully through the night. You do in the morning recover your abilities and such, but you don't feel like your overall sort of wherewithal has returned with the day, and you do not regain any expended hit points. Or expended hit die, I should say.
Is that both of us or just Kat?
Just Cat.
Okay.
So you do have full hit points. You recover. You're up to max, but you do not get your hit die back that you may have spent.
Good thing is I didn't actually use that
right?
many.
Because it's
You lose the temp HP. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to make sure.
I didn't. Good thing is I didn't use that many hit die. So.
Well, that's good.
Fine for now.
How many hit dice do we recover on a long rest? Half?
Normally, you recover half of your total.
Rounded
up to
down
half
or
of your
up?
total. It's up.
Okay.
It's one of the few things in D&D that you actually round up on.
Cool.
But
Just want to make sure.
yeah. And actually, as you guys recover and sort of the pillow party goes down and you're getting ready to face the day and whatever conversation Pavlovna has in store for you, and whatever Seven was discerning from his reading of the sword, and whatever Ryland was so busy sending about, that is where we will have to wrap things up for tonight.
Sounds good.
All right, right on.
That actually
close call, guys.
Oh my god.
We did it! We're alive!
Listen,
Right.
Ryland
Wow.
gets the crits he needs in the moment he needs it.
Better to be lucky than good.
Come on, amazing lucky.
That was a close fight, you know? That was